A Christmas cheers from Carla. Would you mind improvising a Christmas toast?
To merry weather and good times.
Wow.
Yay!
Who's Merryweather?
Times.
Really
Clink,
cool
clunk.
producer for my undergrad.
Amazing. Hello and welcome to a fun and special episode of King Leo D&D. We're doing a one-shot by Dragon's Nest Delivery, their December one-shot called A Stormy Night.
Yes.
And if you can't tell by some of the slight vibes we've got going on, it's a little bit of a... Thank you, Wiggy.
Yes.
A little bit of a Christmas vibe we've got going on. To kick things off with a couple of our standard things before I give a little bit of a Dragon's Nest Delivery spiel, I would like all 5 of y'all to roll a d20 for me.
Uh-oh. Allure.
What do we got?
Rudolph rolled a 4.
12.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 from
No
Steven.
15.
The Nat 20 from Steven wins this beautiful set of dice.
Are these the purple ones?
These are the purple
Always
ones.
said he would like
Do they look like
those.
their current ones?
No, they're opaque.
They're like Nemo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those were
That makes
part of
sense.
a gift from the Dragon's Nest Delivery
I see
box.
Whoa.
And so whenever we do one of these one-shots, I like to give the set away. Second, we have some Japanese candies to dish out as well.
Whoa.
They're really good.
These are, we had something very similar to this before. We have the corn potage. These are like little, kind of like Cheetos that taste like corn. Beats me about the gluten. I would guess there's gluten in there.
Yeah.
But everybody would
Seems
like,
too risky.
corn cheese puffs. Those
I'll take
are great. We pass
I
that
feel
down
like
to
those were
Rachel.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought
I
the
kind of want to try
flavor was
something
great.
gross.
Somebody, Rachel, these might be right up your alley. These this has like a fairy flying through space. I would guess maybe particularly sour, but this is also shareable. There's a bunch of little mini stuff in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
we can share
They're so sweet.
Third and not last, I think this is a soup cracker. It's one cracker with a bowl of soup on the front. Or maybe tea. It might be a teapot.
It's a tea
I will
cracker.
go for that one.
I bet it's like a shortbread.
Huh? It does. It looks like a shortbread. My best guess is this could be some type of chocolate and coffee. Little beans in there.
I'm interested.
There's also a lot there, so we could open that up and pass that around as well.
Wow.
I did not translate any of these to figure anything out, but if we want to do that as well.
Sad.
there's
Tastes
some
like
time
cream
space in
corn.
there. Yeah, yes, it's like the creamiest
I
corn.
love some cream corn.
Oh, this is sweet.
It's corn.
This smells like a strawberry. This little tea cracker thing. If you want to pass around that.
This is like so weird.
Actually, if you're interested in a cracker that tastes like sour strawberry, go
Yeah.
for it. That's wild.
I found the land of the stars.
Aw.
Use of natural colorants.
Google Translate. I found the land of the stars.
No joke, I absolutely love when we do this. It's like
That's pretty good.
you can't get anything like this anywhere else, except you can for like store wise. But I mean, and also there's a whole country with this stuff
Strawberry
in it.
cracker.
But I mean, like
Not in this state.
for me, this is the only way I get this stuff, and it is really great.
Gardenia carotenoid.
Anyway, all right. As we are trying all of these wonderful candies, they all come from a box on dragonsnestdelivery.com. So will this one shot that we play? It comes from that as well. Fun new thing. If you use the code KingLeo! You get 15% off your subscription and anything from the website.
Whoa.
King Leo!
Capital K, capital L, exclamation point, King Leo. Or King Leo with an exclamation
King Leo.
point, I suppose. As for business, this is the December one shot, and there's no recap to do. I guess we could do a blind recap if somebody was really passionate about that. But otherwise, I think we should actually jump right into the story, given we're starting a little late.
Let's do it.
We will go around and give a brief intro to our characters. Y'all are familiar to the table and y'all have played here before, so you don't have to do much of a personal introduction. But a little bit about who your character is, and then ultimately you all will be starting off entering into the village of Polar Pine. This is on the outskirts of the North Pole, and y'all are an adventuring party together, just kind of stumbling into a new town, looking for work to do. So nothing crazy. You haven't been here before, but you're familiar with the local area enough. So,
And we're all in a group.
and you're all in a group together already. So, and you know each other pretty well. So who's your character and what do you do?
Really does taste like tin corn.
I am Frosty, I am a Warforged. I am a Warforged. Warforged are magically, cosmically, ethereally animated, usually made out of various raw materials, metal, wood. Frosty is made of snow. Frosty is a Warforged made of snow, and he has a little top hat on his head. And other than that, just picture the gatekeeper at Elsa's castle with a top hat, and that's essentially what Frosty is.
Mm-hmm. We can give a little bit of a teaser because the party would have seen it. What happens when the hat gets knocked off, Steven?
All kinds of crazy, wacky things. So I actually, Steven, the god that controls Frosty, speaking here. I've got a little table of chaos magic that whenever the hat falls off, the hat is
Pandora's box, pretty much.
not the only thing keeping Frosty alive, but it is the thing keeping him focused and clear-headed and channeling his magic in helpful ways. And so when the hat goes a-tumbling, the fists start flying sometimes. Various crazy elemental things can happen around Frosty when that hat falls off. So it's important that the hat stays on Frosty.
I've never heard of Warforged. What is that?
They're like magically powered,
Like an iron golem.
kind of robots typically,
Cool.
but this one is like a reskinned in a way where it's a magically powered snowman.
Cool.
Carla.
Hello. My character, we're gonna go with a Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Named Dee Dee. Like Rudy. They are a monk, or he is a monk, and he is a very clumsy reindeer who has very little charisma and is very curious, but asks questions a bit too strongly. But he can attack with his antlers and his hooves, and it's just very clumsy, so maybe prone to some hijinks in that way.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of the very ridiculous kung fu movie, but there's that scene, like the quintessential scene of that guy fighting that cow, and that's what I'm thinking of right now.
Kung Pao?
Kung Pao, yeah. Rachel.
My name is Rachel, but my character's name is Gingy. And this character, if I had to sum it up in a few words, I would call it a demonic mistake of nature. That's how I would refer to it.
My stepmom has a horrible little dog named Gingy, and she's so old and also a horrible mistake. of
Inspired
nature.
by true to life events.
Thankfully, Terry does not watch this.
So Gingy is a gingerbread man who was created in a oven that was possessed by a demon. And he made a deal, a pact with this demon-possessed oven, that if it would just give him life and let him out, that he would cause all kinds of chaos and evil for everyone. So he is about this tall. No, I'm gonna say he's like 3 feet tall because I want him to be able to wield. He has a quarterstaff shepherd's crook that's painted very badly, like a candy cane. And his features, he has little. He's a demon of few words, but he has little candy corn fangs.
Yeah.
He looks horrific. He's constantly hissing.
Talk about the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. So he is not a nice little creature, but he is content to be with the party because he's realized this is where the action is. And so he's content to go with the flow of the group because he knows he'll find combat
Wild.
there.
All right. Cassandra.
My name is Vetiver Birchwood, and I came up with this voice just now. Right now, it's not really a voice. Just been watching a lot of Bob Ross, so maybe she's Bob Ross. We'll see. Vetiver, you can call her V or Vivi, whatever you want. She comes from a very wealthy, well-to-do family, but she loathes the finer things in life unless she can get them for a deal or a steal. And she is a goblin and an artificer, so magical tinkering and turning things into other things and craftiness.
And what is the prime development, the main weapon that this artificer created for herself?
Good question. Is that the boomerang?
No. It's on the document I shared with you.
Is it the flamethrower?
It's the
Exclamation
flamethrower.
point?
Yeah, maybe that one.
I
Maybe
have-
Is it the boomerang or is it this flamethrower?
Is it the spell? I have a tiny walking flamethrower that I created.
Whoa.
It comes beside you.
I guess.
Yeah, I
It
just followed
walks.
her along.
Its name is Roomba.
His name is Roomba.
No, that's good. That's good. And Michael.
My character's name is Brudolph. He is a reindeer who enjoys his brew. His friends call him Dolph if they don't want to say his full name. He is a rogue pirate who has probably seen better days. Looks a little bit rough. He's got a bunch of piercings in his antlers and like a gold crown on one of them, like what you would see typically in someone's mouth, or a pirate who's lost a tooth. He has it on the top of his horns with some. Really, if you think about what was his name? Who played Edward Scissorhands?
Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
Yeah, his pirate character, like super, just like lots of stuff going on
Jack
in the
Sparrow?
antlers. Yeah, like Jack Sparrow.
Had a long journey around to get there.
Long journey.
Pirate self.
And that's him. He has a little bit of a temper and lets people know it with his horns.
Wonderful.
Jack Reindeer.
And so we've got a couple of reindeer, a tinkering goblin, a magical snowman, and a demonic gingerbread figure, all tropsing around the winter lands around the North Pole. Traipsing? I don't know. Tropping, tripping. One of you is clumsy. It all works. Stumbling
very
onto a
clumsy.
new town, looking for chaos to get involved with or create. And so you approach the village of Polar Pine. The air becomes infused with the unmistakable sense of merriment, whether you love that or loathe it, in anticipation. The landscape is blanketed in pristine snow and is dotted with cheerful villagers bustling about, each engaged in preparations for an imminent celebration. The scent of evergreen wafts through the crisp wintry air, hinting at the presence of towering Christmas trees adorned with shimmering ornaments. The village itself is a picturesque scene, with quaint cottages adorned with colorful lights and reeds. Streets lined with frosted lampposts guide the way, casting a warm glow on their snowy pathways. You see children in winter attire, you see snowmen that are not moving around, and you see other people engaged in spirited snowball fights, their laughter harmonizing with the distant jingling of sleigh bells. As you draw nearer, the sound of carolers harmonizing in joyful melodies reaches your ears. The inviting aroma of freshly baked cookies and spiced cocoa emanates from the village bakery, tempting you with the promise of seasonal delights. Polar Pine, a haven of festive cheer, nestled in the frosty embrace of the North Pole, welcomes you to partake in the magic of the approaching holiday season. So, as you're walking into this new town and seeing these festivities, what are you interested in looking for, or how would you like to get involved?
Brudolph is wondering if he sees anyone collecting coin with a bell that he could maybe pickpocket or something like
Okay.
that.
Oh my gosh, roll an investigation check, Brudolph.
Immediately thrown in prison.
I'd like to see somebody
He's looking
who's
for money
working for a
immediately.
charity and rob them, please. Let's go.
Gosh, Michael.
Are you sure you're not gingy? What just happened?
It was not good. 8.
Okay. As your eyes kind of dart around, immediately looking for the most ample place for you to then kind of sneak around and steal some coin. It's a lot of children in clusters that you're seeing around, and you like discount them as probably not carrying around a lot of money. But what does hit your nose pretty quickly is you see somebody leaving an establishment with a mug with a hot fluid, like a hot liquid within it, and you get a whiff of it, and there's a little bit of alcohol in that drink. And so, though your eyes do not train in on you trying to find somebody to rob, you are then distracted by somebody who it looks like they're drinking a little bit and leaving a local inn.
It's my type of guy.
Hot fluid.
He's got fluid.
I wouldn't say I definitely don't leave the group, but my senses are looking around, and if as a party we make our way towards that establishment, I'll probably sneak in to fill up the old flask or something.
Okay, cool. Did you want to try to rob that guy?
No.
No? Okay. Anyone else as you enter this town?
Are we on like the main street
Mm-hmm.
yet? What is like the nicest looking shop?
Okay, yeah. You can make a perception check for me. Or an investigation check. That one's your choice.
Oh. It hit the rock, so it's a 5. 10.
Okay. So shop-wise, you do see a place called Bry's Ironworks. You can hear the blacksmith shop working, and so from that you were able to just train in on that there's nearby to you somebody who can create and has made a ton of different types of weapons and stuff.
I say, ooh, nice little store. Be right back. And I go around to go to the back to see if they have like a dumpster or place where they throw out things that don't go well.
Okay, go ahead and roll another investigation check.
13.
Okay, great. And then roll a d6 for me as well.
4.
Okay, you found 4 arrowheads that have been discarded. You can see that the place where the arrowhead would attach to the shaft is a little disfigured, and so these were probably thrown away because they aren't perfect to make into bolts or arrows. But these arrowheads, when they make contact with their target, you can see that there's a little contraption kind of built into them that they explode in a little bit of fire as well.
Mm.
Wow.
They seem compatible with my crossbow.
Mm-hmm. Just the arrowheads, though. They are not fully fashioned bolts.
Yeah.
Gingy has like moved over, kind of staring a little too intently at the children that are like throwing snowballs back and forth, kind of like gripping his candy cane and kind of like going like this, staring at them. And they have like snow has started like spraying at him from their snowball fight, and he, instead of going away, he's just like running side to side, like hissing, going stop it, stop it, stop it, like from the snow. And he's looking. He then starts looking around the town for anyone who looks unhappy, because not because he wants to help, that's for sure, but he's just looking for anyone who looks unhappy.
Well, what you do immediately see is that these kids start to get a little freaked out by the gingerbread person that is nearby and kind of hissing at them.
Why?
And so one of them is like, get him! And then they all just kind of train up some snowballs to then throw at you. So, I have dice, okay? That is going to be a 9 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so a barrage of these snowballs start to fly off towards you, and you are just nimbly ducking in between all of them and getting out of the way. They don't seem playful in this. They seem like they're trying to protect themselves a bit and trying to get you to run away. They seem unhappy.
So the party starts to see Gingy begin to form, is hissing and running in little circles from the snowballs. He's about, I'd say maybe he's about this big. Mm-hmm. And the party sees him beginning to form the beginnings of a cantrip called, that you know to be called Chill Touch. Mm-hmm. And it's not a long range, well, actually, is it long range? No, it's touch, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's so scatterbrained that he's not casting at long range. He appears to be trying to run through the snowballs to get to. He's made it about a foot.
I'm gonna say that
it is 120 feet range.
Okay, well, in his fury, he's not very smart. In his fury, he's like trying to touch them with it.
in the build up to that, Frosty was trying to make conversation with one of the snowmen to no avail, and then he kind of looked over and saw what was happening with Gingy, so he's gonna go,
Gingy, come away from children. Do not touch. Come away.
Gingy stares at the children and goes, tss, and then runs over to
No hiss. You come, good.
Did Moose and Nimbus inspire your character's behavior? Or
no, it's Gingy. The dog.
Anything that your character would be initially responding to this town with?
I look back to the snowman. I say,
Gingy, he is good kid. Has complicated heart. He no know why he do what he do. But he's good.
You hear Gingy go, that's a lie.
This snowman seems to be heavily soaking in the words that you were saying over it.
Good listener. Dee Dee is just delighted that these children are throwing snowballs, and it's like, this is so fun! Wow, you guys are having so much fun! And so he kind of runs back and forth in front of Gingy while Gingy's hissing, just to like play with all the snowballs.
Wonderful. What a wonderful scene to kick off this town. As you all then gather and you are nearby, it's going to be so hard for me to remember character names, Brudolph. Brudolph has been kind of leading over towards this inn area, and even Vetiver coming back from dumpster diving. The party then regroups around this inn where the person with the drink had walked out. And you can tell it from within. You can then begin to smell that there's different baked goods and different like drinks and merriment happening within this place as well. Also, just from this general vision area where a lot of different roads kind of kick off, you can see a couple different stores too. So you already know Bry's Ironworks that Vetiver was able to find. There's this place called Frosty Finds that is just more of like a general store where if you needed to get some more equipment or anything for your travels, you could do that. And then lastly, in the center of town, you can also see that there's one central massive Christmas tree. So if you would like to kind of talk up with some locals or go check out more other places in the city, you can let me know.
I was going to say that Frosty is starting to look around as his conversation partner is not very engaging and notices the tree at the center of the square and starts to kind of meander that way, just looking at it and taking in the sights of the city.
Okay.
Just observing people and observing window shops and...
Yeah. Do you all go along with Frosty to the tree?
Yes.
Cool. So as you step into the village square, a breathtaking sight unfolds before you. The centerpiece of Polar Pine, a colossal Christmas tree adorned with shimmering lights and vibrant decorations. The tree stands proudly in the middle of the square, its branches expertly arranged to create a symphony of holiday cheer. Countless ornaments, ranging from traditional baubles to whimsical figurines, dangle in the evergreen boughs. Multicolored lights, arranged in meticulous patterns, cast a festive glow across the snowy surroundings. The air is filled with the enchanting scent of pine, creating an immersive experience that captures the magic of the season. Around the base of the tree, joyful villagers and visitors alike mingle, sharing laughter and exchanging small gifts. The festive atmosphere is infectious, and the gleeful sounds of carolers harmonizing with the occasional jingle of sleigh bells create a sense of warmth and community. The Christmas tree in Polar Pines Village Square stands not just as a decoration, but as a beacon of holiday spirit, inviting all to partake in the joyous celebration. Any immediate reactions with these people and the tree? Anything else you'd like to do?
Is there any kind of life or spirit that is emanating from the tree?
Ooh, make a investigation check.
19.
Okay.
Wow.
Your gaze immediately kind of lines up with the star at the top of it.
Dee Dee flies right up there.
Oh yeah, flying up around, you can see this a shiny star that eclipses all the other lights around it. And so what you can see is that there's a very, very much the center point of this tree is the star on the top.
Shiny.
Lick it.
Wow. Frosty, I like the star.
What do you see of star? Is star nice, you take?
No, just look at it. It's nice and sparkly like you.
I see.
Look at it. It's nice.
Is glow.
That star, this nerdy-looking gnomish boy, maybe a teenager, up towards the front, just goes, "That star," adjusts glasses, "was a gift from Santa Claus himself. Us here at this place, Pine Town,
place.
Pine Village,
I like that.
Where's Santa now, boy?
Polar Pine."
Polar Pines.
Is Santa live here?
No, he lives straight through beyond this road up at the North Pole.
Ah.
It's rather a dangerous journey to get there, though. There are many blizzards and frozen lakes that may break through, and at a time like this, I would say, unless you really, really need to see him, maybe don't.
Much think, wise boy.
Dee Dee just says, "Why?"
I think he thanked me because I explained to him that there was dangerous weather.
Oh. Okay.
Vivi is gonna say, she's gonna kind of like look. The tree's, how tall did you say?
I did not.
How tall is the tree?
24 feet.
Okay, so it's pretty big. She's gonna go, be right back, and like dive under the tree to go see if there's any like stray gifts or anything like left behind.
Roll an investigation check again.
I touched her leg when she's asleep, you know, she
Yeah,
hates that.
she does do that.
Sorry. Her drugs have kicked in now. Talking about the dog, not Vivi. Investigation again, you said?
Yeah.
18.
18, okay. When you dive under in the snow, you are able to pull out that there is a gift that is wrapped that has no tag on it, no possible identification, that this, underneath everything else, doesn't seem to belong to anyone in particular, at least enough to be claimed by anyone.
Yeah, because she's got to feel like she can justify taking it.
Okay.
If it's like the year 192, like does the gift say like 191 on it? So I know it's like left over.
There's no label or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it,
Okay.
but I'm gonna open it under the tree,
Okay.
hiding.
Yeah, when you open up, you see a pure white turtleneck sweater.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna change.
You all see Vivi emerge back out from underneath of the tree.
No, not yet, not yet. Do it once I put it on. Do I feel like it has any like magical qualities or anything, or is it just like a lovely sweater?
This is just a lovely sweater.
Okay, and I put my other stuff back like on top of it.
Okay.
But you can still see
Yeah.
the turtleneck,
Okay.
and then I'll say, do something fancy with this later.
Could, if Vivi was underneath the tree, like,
Mm-hmm.
could she hear, like, the sound of, like, two stones tapping together, hypothetically? I guess she's supposed to hear that.
No, I'd say she's too predisposed by her findings to hear that go on.
Well, meanwhile, she has, like, shuffled through the snow over to the tree. And you turn to see Gingy.
Oh no,
Jimmy's
Flint's
trying really hard. They're not flint rocks, so you just put out two rocks
It's like gravel.
really hard to like start roll.
Gingy.
No, I'm laughing at Rachel right now.
Rachel laughing at
This is
Rachel.
the character Rachel has needed to play. This is the most I don't care what my mom says, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
that you've ever been.
Wow.
So that's what he's up to.
Oh my gosh.
The little elvish boy just kind of tiptoes next to you and grabs a couple stones as well. And he's just like, yeah. He's also trying it.
Gingy immediately dives on the stones that were dropped on the ground and like scatters them all over, goes and starts to like dropping ones and trying different ones to see if any of them
Oh, and
bite.
he drops his and he just backs away and leaves.
Did Vedivir come back out from under the tree?
Yeah, once she like put all her layers back on, she came out and that's when she said, "Go do something fancy with this lady." And she's like real squirrely about it.
I see Vedivir come out, and then I walk over to. Are you
Rudolph.
Rudolph? Are you just kind of standing by the tree?
I am slowly backing up towards the place where I can get something to drink. But I'm not facing it. My back is towards it, and I'm trying to just like disappear without you guys
Are
noticing.
you on all fours? I hope you're on all fours backing
Yes,
up.
of course.
He's a reindeer.
Well, he's also like a minotaur, so I didn't know if he could also be on.
He's a pure reindeer.
I can do whatever I want to.
This is fantasy world.
Dolph, before you go, check this goblin with turtleneck. He's just like Vedivir. They look same.
Frost is me. I found it.
Oh, where is you find?
I found it deep under the tree.
Oh, is turtleneck for Frosty too?
And I'm gonna go over to the tree and start to try to pick it up and just.
The tree.
Yes, I'm gonna tip it to see if I can see more turtlenecks underneath.
Frosty, we can just turn your snow neck into a turtleneck. You don't wear clothes.
Oh, and I
Grunt really hard.
grunt really hard.
It's like collar.
I imagine we all gather around and like pat it and make it a nice and neat turtleneck.
Turtleneck twins.
Yeah,
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
yeah.
And then I just frolic around the tree, enjoying the merriment of the day.
Wonderful.
What time of day is it right now?
Y'all are getting in like right before it's like dinner meal time.
Okay. So the sun's kind of going down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As I've been watching everything that's gone on, I've noticed I've begun to see my breath more than when we first walked in a little bit ago. So I made my way into the bar or whatever it is
Hearth Lodge.
to see if they have specifically any apple bourbon or any carrot flavored alcohol.
Carrot's annoyed, just like our treat.
As you step in this Icy Hearth Lodge, I'll go through this a little briefly. There's like twinkling lights reflecting off of the snow on the outside and this magical ambiance of the space that you're seeing around it. But once you enter, you smell the fragrance of pine. You see inside different festive decorations and holly wreaths and ornaments. And then there's a cheerful chatter from people from within with lots of different mugs and different things to drink. You can see that this lodge is a sanctuary from the cold, and these villagers are coming in, getting ready for dinner with different seasonal treats. And then you can see a guy behind the bar, this stocky man with a large black beard who's just behind the bar pouring off a couple of mugs and passing those out. You can see a sign off to his side by the bar where there's some drinks called the Frostberry Fizz, the Aurora Elixir, the Polar Sunrise, the Icicle Infusion, and the Snowfall Sip. If you wanted to talk with him and ask about particulars, okay. Hello there. Whoa, and he's looking down. You're an animal. You are carrot flavored? What was the other one?
Or if you've got a cider with some sort of brown liquor I could drink.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
He speaks too.
I've never served alcohol to one of your kind before, but you seem ready and very much wanting it. I can make that happen. And then he just steps away and then comes back with an apple honey bourbon kind of mix with a little bit of like a cinnamony spice to it as well. He puts it in a bowl and he comes around to the bar, sets it down on the ground, and he just kind of pats you on the head. Here you go.
I look down at it and I look at him and I say, I can drink it out of a glass.
Did you want me to pour the bowl in?
That's fine.
Okay. Yes, or it's fine. It's fine as it is.
You can pour it from the bowl into a glass.
Okay. He leans it down, pours it into a mug, and then holds it out to you to see how you're gonna grab it.
I put my nose under it and set it on the bar. I imagine there's a room on the bar, and then just so that I'm not leaning over, but this way I can still kind of see what's going on.
Great.
And I warm myself up by enjoying the drink.
Great. The drink costs a couple silver. You're able to pay him for that, and if you want, I imagine.
Of course.
And then you're situated. If you would like, are you staying for dinner as well, or you just want the drink?
Probably just the drink, and then I imagine if he has them to go, then I would get another one after drinking this one and go meet up with the people.
Okay, great. Well, they might be coming to meet you in there as well, so we'll see how that goes. Where would you all be heading next?
Frosty, as he frolics, is really also just, he's a good-natured fellow, but he's also very, I guess, aware that there can always be opportunity for new adventures or new, whatever. So Frosty is frolicking, but also using his kind of romp around the tree to just take in all the people that are there, and just, does everyone just kind of seem like your average villagers? Is there anyone that seems like they're up to something, apart from my own rascally party?
Roll a perception check.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. As you are running around trying to figure if there's anything helpful, interesting, to kind of link onto, eventually what you hear is like a bitter argument between two people off in the distance. You hear one person just yelling out, "No, I helped build it. I deserve more." And the other person says, "Well, I'm doing more for sales, so you know what? You can handle it." And you hear this very heated argument going on, kind of over a fence off towards the eastern side of the city.
Noticing that, will almost try to back up to the sound of the conversation as if I'm still watching the tree, but just kind of swaying as if I have not a care in the world, but now I'm trying to acutely pick up on what are they arguing about.
Okay, and you all notice this too, because he's a large figure that you were friends with, who was just running around the tree with you, but you see him kind of backing off, and then as you start to pay attention to, you can hear some of this conversation as well. As you hear more, what you then hear is, no, and kind of a recap. It's like, no, I built it, so I should have more from the silage, not you. Is this scream happening? And then the other person says, yes, but I'm the one that goes selling it off for profit in the city, you dumb oaf. Is that so? Well, how about you move your nut and for once, instead of chatting with adventurers all day, and stop playing knuckle bones and do your own share of the work and give me what I deserve.
Yeah.
And the other one just goes, that does it. Come here, you I should see, Sifi? Yeah, sorry, it was a very foreign word. Come here, you Sifi. And then they start to kind of wrestle with one another. And you can see these two elves by this massive metallic silo kind of getting into a bit of a physical wrestling match over this argument as well.
I mean, does it look like they're just kind of scuffling, or does it look like this could turn serious?
It could probably turn serious eventually. Yeah.
Okay. I will stop with my pretenses and go over and just kind of try to pry them apart.
Okay, good. Yeah, as you start to kind of pry in, they do just kind of stop because you were large, and they just kind of give it up, and they're just like, what do you...
There is no need to fight this close to Christmas. What are you do?
I don't know what the day of the year has to do about when we should or should not argue, but I mean, he's taking advantage of me, and I'm tired of it.
The true meaning of Christmas is not fight your friend in the snow after he claim something not fair about you.
So, what are you saying? We have to wait a couple of days? And then we sort this out?
Yes. Hello, I am Frosty.
Hello, Frosty. I am Arlen. And then he kind of raises his hand out.
Arlen. Hello. Why you fight friend?
I built this silo right there. I am the one that deserves the fair share of our grain that we are selling off to this town so that I can continue to bake my sweet pies.
Is it bigger than the tree?
It's about the same size as the tree.
Dee Dee just shouts, treats!
Yeah, I make the treats. And then the other one just comes, and I'm Fenian, and if it weren't for me selling space from this silo as well as some of the treats that he makes, then he would have no money either, would he?
It sounds like you need each other. One cannot be without other.
But our arrangement is unfair. Right, I think it's unfair as well. Our arrangement does not honor the amount of work that I do selling. Yes, you're right, he does need me, and he needs me at least 50% of what we are doing. And then Arlen continues to argue and says, but if it weren't for me filling this thing and actually baking the product, then we wouldn't have anything for you to sell in the first place. You are only doing 30% of the work. And then they're getting back into an argument. You can see they're starting to get more heated and almost on the verge of wrestling with one another yet again.
It seemed to me that whatever problem you have and however fair or unfair problem be, will not be solved by fight, will not be solved by hit.
At this point, Gigi has been like booking it over, but he's very small through the snow, so he's finally made it. And when you say that, you just hear a hiss from below that says, yes, only death will solve it.
No, Gingy, death is no help. You bad influence on these mad men.
Gingy says, thank you.
Fine then. We will, I believe, agree to settle this simply by your impartial input. Simply name which one of us you think deserves to win this argument, and we will go along with that. And then Arlen, the first one, just goes, fine, I will honor that as well.
Why are you giving that choice to us?
Well, because I recognize that you are new to this town and have absolutely no sway in the way that it goes. So we believe that your impartial suggestion to the way that we should settle this would be fair.
You're too trusting.
It's Christmas.
Listen. In many question, perhaps in some question, there is black,
And I point at my hat,
and there is white. Sometime,
and I don't know, I like rub my arm against like a building or something, and it's dirty.
there is gray. They call nuance. You must use nuance. There is no black or white. There is nuance.
That's good.
You will not solve problem by scapegoat to snowman. You will talk.
This is like the worst conflict management video that any HR has ever put their business through. Look, let me try speaking in your language. We try talk. Talk no work. We want decisions.
Meanwhile, you hear the sound of two rocks. Gigi is over by the building and is trying again with her not flint rocks to set them on fire. That is all.
My friends,
What if they ran a race? And whoever wins, wins.
yes. Run is better than be ass.
Ha, I will take that. Gosh. Fine, whatever. If it settles it today. Would somebody like to... What type of race? How are we doing it? This is up to design.
Up the tree, up the tree,
Up
up
the
the tree,
tree.
up the tree, to the star!
Oh my gosh. The tree. And then they both walk over towards the base of the tree and start kind of rolling up their sleeves and sitting back and getting ready, and they just look to you for a count off.
Go!
And one of them bolts while the other one just takes a moment.
Turn to the townspeople.
Whoever catch star first is correct about economics.
Michael, if you wouldn't mind rolling a d20 for Arlen, and Rachel, if you wouldn't mind rolling a d20 for Finian.
Sure.
It is just a straight roll.
9.
19.
Finian is the one, the kind of
Parkour's up the
nerdier
tree.
sounding salesman.
That's who I wanted to win.
Wow.
He was the first off the gun to just immediately start climbing the tree, and then Arlen just a little bit behind, and then you can see Fenny just branch to branch to branch to going, like he does this in his free time when everyone's asleep. And Arlen just struggling and making his way. You can tell he's the one who makes the cakes. He also partakes in them quite a bit, and so he's having a struggle of like chin upping on these bars and getting himself up. Then Fenian gets to the top, and you can just hear nerdy cheers from the peak. Just yeah, haha, take that, Arlen. And then he's already climbing down before before Arlen even makes it to the top. They both get down, winded, sweating, and Arlen is the first to speak. Well, I will honor it, and you won fair and square. Okay, this has been settled. And he just turns and starts to walk back towards his home. Fenian heads right over to Didi. And says, thank you, that was a great decision on how we should settle this. So, and then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a little pouch, and he gives you 25 gold and 500 silver.
Whoa!
A lot of money.
Wow.
And he just goes, I've made quite a good living for myself by selling off some of our product. And so he kicks you off a little prize for helping him win the argument.
How many treats can this buy?
Oh, that will buy you probably a year's supply of cake if you wanted it.
Yes.
Frosty, what should I do?
Not all spend on cake, but maybe spend most on cake.
I would like 5 cakes.
Oh,
Who are you talking to?
Finian! Finian!
I have it set up. Those will be sold through the Icy Hearth Lodge, so you can work with Heward there to get some.
Oh, Didi bolts it
Great.
to the lodge.
As you all chase down your comrade, who's now fleeing for cake.
Conrad!
You see that Brodolph in his
Brodolph.
in his second mug of happiness there.
Oh yeah, he becomes Brodolph after the second
Yes, he
drink.
does.
That's right.
Is locked into a new conversation that was not happening the last minute. And so this man introduced himself to you. His name is Ronald. And Ronald, this old man with a kind of a cane holding half of his weight up, kind of limbers over to you. And he just goes, "You're new in town. I'd like to introduce myself to you," as he leans down towards you, "the Riddle Master. And if you could answer 3 of my riddles, at least 2 of those 3 correctly, well, no one's done it before, but I'm always happy to give someone a prize." And you can tell he's like this very strange figure coming out of you from the back of this town, from the back of this room. And Hubert just rolls his eyes and walks away and just like doesn't even want to hear part of this. Then your ally bursts into the room, as then the rest of your party then stumbles into 2 drinks of Brewdolf and meeting Ronald as well, giving his spiel about being this riddle master.
Brewdolf, I'm gonna buy cakes!
Are you sure you need more cakes?
Yes.
Well, enjoy. And if they have a carrot cake, I might have a bite.
Okay. Who's that guy? He's creepy.
I already forgot his name. Apparently he has some riddles.
Ronald.
Do you want a cake?
Sure.
6 cakes.
6 cakes.
And then he runs over to wherever he sees cakes on display.
Yeah, just a little glass case down at the end. You can see that there are eclairs, dumplings, fritters, gyoza, and puffs. All with different styles to them as well. The puffs are made to look like penguins. The
Penguin
dumplings,
puff.
the gyoza dumplings are filled with, you can see that they're more of a dinner meal type of flake pastry with shrimp and snow peas. There's a blueberry compote with the fritters. The apple dumplings have some drizzle of honey and apples. And then you can see the eclairs have like a pine nut cream and have powdered sugar on them as well. Lots of different options.
He puts his hooves up on top of the counter and goes, "Do you have carrot cake?"
This is a totally normal interaction that I have had with another one of you before. I will give you a fork and a knife, and I can dig up some carrot cake for you in the back as well.
I would like 6.
Okay, friend.
Wow.
He just turns around and walks back.
He's had a whole character arc. He's a whole new man.
After about 10 minutes, coming from the back, several slices of carrot cake are provided to the party.
Hilarious.
You see Genji crawling his way up the stairs, exhausted. Crawling across the floor and makes it over to Ronald and the party. Kind of hissing and
Anyway, back to my riddles.
What'll it cost me?
Just enough time that you have to listen to me speak longer in your direction.
The least determinate amount of time that's ever been said.
Depends on how long it takes you to answer my riddles.
Brewdolf kind of does what reindeer do and just like blows air out of his nose, like that sort of thing, and says, "I'll give it a shot."
Okay. Since you're doing it as a group, you get 2 chances for each riddle. Those are my
chances.
rules.
6 chances.
No. 2 per riddle. Not each person with 2.
Oh.
Riddle number 1. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten. What am I?
I know it. It's about cake.
It is not cake.
It's definitely not cake.
It's not fruit cake.
No.
Oh, I'm
One
sorry.
more chance. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten. What am I?
Cut it.
You cut that open?
Rachel, Google it.
Give it a Google. It's worth a Google. Genji's gonna try and intimidate him into giving us the answer.
Clacking his rocks together.
How would you intimidate him?
He like crawls up and like stands up, and he has like uses his candy cane staff to get up, and then he like stares, and his eyes get very wide, and he just hisses, and the fangs are on full display.
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
You said never taken?
Never eaten.
Never eaten.
23.
Gosh.
I have a +6 to intimidation.
So yeah, looking down, waiting for y'all to answer, there's just this figure clutching onto his ankle, fuming up at him. Oh, gosh! Oh! Oh! Is this one of yours? He kind of shakes his foot and tries to loosen you off.
That's Gingy.
That's Gingy. How unpleasant.
He is.
He seems displeased with this riddle. We could move on.
What is it?
The correct answer was playing cards.
It wasn't food.
The second riddle. I give mirth and merriment, and they say I smell quite old. But I can turn a timid man into one that is quite bold.
You hear Ginger go,
Blood.
Wait, no, it's gotta be.
Really old bottles.
It's gotta be a drink, yeah.
Really old bottles.
Mirth.
Right? Because people get bold when they drink.
Yeah, merriment.
That smell old.
If he's able,
Jeez.
Frosty has been outside. I'm gonna open the window from outside. Like,
How's it going in here? What are we do?
Trying to figure out these riddles.
Riddle. I can solve riddle. I've existed as long as snow has fallen.
I will
Say again, please.
He's old.
I give
Please say again.
mirth and merriment, and they say I smell quite old. But I can turn a timid man into one that is quite bold.
Who's they?
People. You say things.
I'm a reindeer.
You say things.
Yes.
2 guesses.
A strong drink.
What kind?
Oh no.
And he looks
This is-
intrigued.
This is the perfect question for you.
How many strong drink can there be?
What the heck is mirth?
What drinks smell old? Like an old
Earth
scotch.
is like joy, laughter.
Yeah.
I mean,
I give mirth and merriment, and they say I smell quite old.
Oh, this whole time I
Does
thought it
wine
was
smell
myrrh.
old?
I mean,
Wine from old
if it's
wineskins.
old vintage.
Mold wine?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's Christmassy.
Mold wine.
It was wine, yes! Very good. You must get the third then, since we were unhappy with the first.
What do we win?
Oh, you will see. In the form of fork or sheet, I hit the ground. And if you wait a heartbeat, you can hear my roaring sound.
Frosty, I think this is for you.
Oh. Oh.
In the form of fork or sheet, I hit the ground. And if you wait a heartbeat, you can hear my roaring sound.
What do you think, Didi?
I heard my brother say ice
Like ice sheets?
sheets of ice.
What's the fork? Ice fork.
Fork.
Is it like
Lightning? Lightning doesn't fall in sheets, though.
Rain
I'm thinking
falls
of
in sheets?
the sound piece.
Shinji says, a waterfall of blood.
Oh.
I hear you thinking.
That wasn't our answer.
I know, but
and ice.
Deliberate.
Like what are the big things? Glaciers, like roar and thunder and stuff.
Or like an
Is ice?
it is not ice. One more guess.
I want to roll for insight as to whether he'll give us something good
Okay.
for winning.
Roll an insight check.
Roll for riddle.
Oh dear, what's this number? 4? 10.
10 total.
10 total.
You can see that within his hands, over the top of his staff, he is kind of toggling back and forth between his two hands a stone that does have a faint magical aura to it, and seems to be of quite some value.
Do we feel like snow is the next best guess if we can't think of anything else? Or do we think
Snow doesn't really
that
thunder,
would count for
though.
ice? But like an avalanche.
Blizzards?
Lightning?
I thought lightning too, but I don't know if it fits the
Sheets of lightning? Is that a thing?
Lightning and thunder?
category.
Thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning aren't so frightening.
Like a storm? Like a thunderstorm?
Rain falls in sheets of rain. Not a fork though.
Wait.
A storm? Maybe just a storm?
I'm playing, yeah, metagaming.
We're
It's
definitely
the storm. The storm is the name of the
Yeah, the storm
of the
night.
campaign.
Could
Because
be a
it's
storm.
forked lightning, sheets of rain, and thunder booming.
Nice.
It's a storm.
I feel like that's good.
Go for it.
I already said ice. I'm devastated.
Is it a storm?
What part of the storm?
Help!
I mean, I guess, yeah, lightning forks. Lightning forks.
Lightning?
But sheets. Thunder.
Rain doesn't
Which
fork.
does fork and sheets. Thunder. But lightning is the one that makes a noise.
And so could it be thunder and lightning?
Maybe.
Because it booms.
Was thunder in the clue?
Maybe.
Well, it says that it roars.
Yeah.
Yeah, say thunder and lightning.
Yeah. More so than rain.
Thunder and lightning.
Correct, it is lightning.
Oh.
And then he
What do we win? What do we win? What do we
hands
win?
forward a stone of good luck, which I believe gives you +1 on like everything if you were to
Whoa!
use it. Let me
I eat
double
the
check.
stone.
Stone of good luck, yeah. This polished agate is on your person. You gain +1 to ability checks and saving throws. You can search that up on your D&D Beyond if you want to add it. Whoever would like to be the person who uses that.
Probably DD because she pretty.
Oh.
Got all the
Need that
goods
luck.
here. I do need that luck.
Nice full magical stone for you. Glows green.
How do I find it?
Stephen, would you mind helping her get Stone of Good Luck in her equipment?
Frosty.
Yes.
The Stone of Good Luck. You've had your cake. You are able to get some dinner. You've answered.
You've ate it too.
And you've answered Ronald's riddles. Afterwards, Ronald then, of course, gives off the stone and then kind of limbers over towards his nearby stool and sits down and then just smiles and has himself some nice hot cocoa where he seems so pleased with himself. He just takes a drink and sets it back down. Heward comes back around. I imagine maybe that you all are also looking for some place to stay for the night. I have enough rooms if you all would wish to stay here. I can take care of you all for the evening.
I will sleep outside, but thank you.
Yes, normal interaction.
Are there any stables nearby?
But you are also very welcome to a bed, sir.
Wow. And with that, we cured racism.
Sir. I don't even know how to respond.
But yes, we have stables if you have horses that you need me to tend to.
I like comfy beds.
Wonderful. And then he can arrange for you all to have some arrangements here to stay. And if there's anything else you all would like to do before retiring for the night after your long days of travel and play around the city and sweater finding and whatnot, we can work out some stuff before bed too if you want.
I feel like I almost want to ask Ronald, now that he seems to be comfortable,
Okay. The Riddle Master.
if there's any adventure around here, or like, I don't know, does he know of anywhere where maybe we shouldn't go? Just try and like,
Yeah.
because he seems weird.
Things have been pretty chill as of late, but if you were looking for some... if you were looking for, well, danger, there's much storm and beast-like creatures up towards the north, between here and the North Pole. If you were trying to get rowdy, I'm sure you can find something fun out there.
Thank you for your input. Enjoy your hot cocoa.
Indubitably.
Dolph gets really rowdy sometimes.
What does?
Dolph.
Yeah.
So my friends call me.
So Gingy, whenever he sleeps, he prefers to do it if he can in an oven. So he shuffles his way around the side of the bar and was like staring up at Heward, and says, "Oven."
It's in the kitchen.
And then he scurries off to the kitchen. Yeah. That's exactly what you hear.
Okay.
And he drops a gold coin behind him.
I've learned so much today. He says to himself as he grabs the coin and just kind of shrugs. Great, so you all can take a long... Okay.
I was saying wow.
Okay. So for those of you who rest inside, go for that. If you're resting outside, whether that is in stable or mound of snow, you are fine to do that as well. So long rest happens. I don't think any of y'all used anything that you really need to.
I was going to do one thing before.
Yeah.
Just cast a random spell so you can use it.
Right. I do, so with the imbuing an object, because it's a max of 3 objects at a time, that would, one arrowhead would count as one object, not like my set of arrowheads.
For which thing?
The arrowheads, she found out back.
Imbue object.
Those are very particular magical abilities.
Or magical tinkering, I guess.
Things that you can do. So this is a little separate, but what you're going for to do, you're fine to do. What would you like to do with the arrowheads?
Oh, I'm going to do it whether I can only do it to one or all 4 of them. I just saw this at max of 3 objects.
No, go ahead.
I want to tinker with one to, actually turn it into full arrow.
Yeah,
not just
I think you can do
arrowheads.
that. Just go ahead and roll a tinkering check for me. So it's just going to be d20 plus your intelligence and proficiency. So what's your intelligence modifier? All the way top.
3.
Plus 3. Okay, so it'll be plus 5. D20 plus 5.
Okay. Only an 8.
Okay, you're able to do 2 of the arrows.
Okay. So what I want to do to them is I want to do so they already do fire, and I want it to have the static visual effect, which I picture is just it says it can be up to 25 words. I'm picturing it's just sparkling words in the air kind of thing. Am I understanding that right? The static visual effect, since I can't do something verbal. And for 2 of them, then I guess it's gonna say, "Roast your chestnuts on this open fire, sucker." Sparkly letters.
Nice.
So I have 2 of those?
You have 2 of those. Yeah. You'll do your normal arrow damage, and then these will do an additional d6 of fire damage as well.
Love that.
Love that for you.
I love that journey for you.
After your rest and tinkering, you wake up and you can hear a bit of a commotion outside. And so as you all gather your things together, walk down the stairs, hop out of your oven, unburden yourself from the snow that is atop of you, and you also say goodbye to your new friends of horses that you made in the stables. You then regather with your party.
They say nothing.
They seem to deeply soak in all of the things that you say to them, much like the unanimated snowman. So, the air in Polar Pine is thick with tension as you step outside of your sleeping arrangements. A large crowd has gathered in front of the Christmas tree in the village square. Their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief. Villagers exchange anxious whispers recounting tales of most unusual crime committed of the holiest of nights. Do you think that Arlen did it? Or Fenian? They just climbed the tree. As you approach the crowd, the villagers share their harrowing experiences from the previous night. They claim that Santa Claus, their beloved figure known for spreading joy and gifts, had broken into their homes. Instead of leaving presents, he pilfered cherished belongings, leaving behind confusion and heartache. The situation takes an even more bizarre turn when you hear about the theft of the North Star, the star on top of the tree.
No.
A magical artifact that typically adorns this Christmas tree. This radiant star is not only a symbol of hope, but also a source of enchantment that enhances the holiday spirit throughout the village. The once festive atmosphere is now clouded with worry and uncertainty, and the true identity and motives of this rogue Santa remains a mystery. How would you respond?
That person is some kind of Grinch to do this.
Is there anything I might have heard or noticed while I was sleeping in a pile of snow beside this inn?
Sure, yeah. Just roll a perception check for me as well.
That would be a 12. Just a normal 12.
Okay. Yeah, at one point you did, towards the morning, wake up and you saw a large figure climbing up out of a chimney with a giant sack of things over his shoulder as he took off.
Huh.
I did see someone come up the chimney and take off to north. Seems very dangerous. Seems very suspicious.
Up the chimney? But Santa goes down.
But he go down and just stay.
We're getting warm. I can feel it.
He just puts his head in the snow.
This case is almost cracked.
So close. So close to figuring it out.
He take present and star. This no good. We must find. We must ask why he takes star. Perhaps it for good reason.
You're willing to investigate this cause? And then a woman steps forward out of the crowd around you all. You can see that she was talking to some others. I'm Heidi Lohman. I'm the mayor of Pine Town.
Hi, Heidi.
It's definitely not Pine Town.
Polar
I keep doing that.
Pines.
Polar Pines.
Pine Land.
Mayor, I cannot do it. Mayor of Polar Pines. You are willing to go and investigate this?
I speak for self, but yes.
Oh, and these two festive animals, and oh gosh, this is the gingerbread man. What do you all do?
Kill.
Oh,
I fly.
oh.
Together we solve.
Yes. Okay then. Well, what I know is that, I've talked to a number of our citizens here within this lovely town, and a lot of them said that this Santa did come last night as expected, but yeah, he's apparently has taken things instead of providing gifts, and of course, he's taken our star. If he did go towards the north, like you believe he did or saw that he did, well then maybe he just went back to the North Pole after all of this, and that should be looked into.
Did anyone talk face to face with Santa?
At any point when he was confronted, I think he, from a couple of stories that I heard, just laughed and ran away. Did not engage, did not talk with anybody. I will surely put 350 gold into your pockets if you were to apprehend or figure out or talk with Santa and figure out exactly what is going on here.
Frosty, that's so many cakes.
Do not worry. I solve. Was laugh a ha-ha, a he-he, or a ho-ho?
It was most certainly a ho-ho.
It is Santa. He is bad now. We must find and stop.
If you follow that path outside of this town, I warn you though, very dangerous, as I'm sure everyone else in this town has told you, that it will lead you towards the North Pole.
I just start walking in that direction.
All right.
Dolph lead the way. We follow.
Wait, I want one more cake.
Cake for road.
He needs to sustain his energy.
Cake for road.
Cake.
Okay.
I'm just asking random villagers.
Cake for road.
I don't. What?
Is the bakery open?
Mm-hmm.
Go
Yeah,
get a cake. I'll wait.
Okay.
Cake is gone. Another carrot cake.
Yes, yes.
You have to get Heward out before because they're not out and about. And he goes,
Heward! I want a cake!
Yep. And then brings out a little to-go box.
Yeah.
A little cake for you.
And then he puts it on his antlers and just runs back out to his friends.
Use your hands. I mean, I don't know.
Do what you want.
Cool.
While this is happening, Frosty, you feel Gingy like using his quarterstaff as a snow pick, like climbing his way up your back. Because this is like, I would say has happened before. Mm-hmm. You can decide if that's true. And it's kind of like crushing on your shoulder.
Climb a little to right.
He hisses and shifts to the right.
A little ball of like hot energy around this freshly baked gingerbread cookie climbing up your snow body.
Just slightly sinks into your shoulder.
Yeah.
Just a little
You hear
sizzle.
this. And you think it's hissing, and it's married with this actual melting of some of the snow.
The spirit of adventure. I feel lighter with every step.
Please. Some people are worth
What?
Some people are worth melting for.
Please say some people are worth melting for.
Wow.
Say it. Say it.
I could cry.
Samantha.
Heading off
Dang, that's what we
in the
should
northward direction as the party gathers together. You start to trudge through what you can see is a very much covered path. You don't get to see many tracks or anything that's clear. It's heavy snowfall and things like that that kind of obscure it. So it does get kind of hard to follow a perfect north trail, but what even makes it harder is that a blizzard does start to form as you all have carried on for maybe an hour or so. Heavier snow, heavier winds. And so what I would need everyone to do first to kind of start us off is I would like everyone to make a perception check. Or no, I'm so sorry. Okay, first. Okay, I need a survival check or two. Whoever would like to make a survival check, we can start there.
Who has
Can I cast a buff on myself?
Yeah.
I can cast Mage Armor at will.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast that.
Could I also cast Warding Wind?
Okay.
A strong wind, 20 miles per hour, blows around me in a 10-foot radius and moves with me, remaining centered on me.
Okay.
The wind lasts for the spell's duration. The wind it deafens me and other creatures in its area, extinguishes unprotected flames. It hedges out vapor, gas, fog, and then the area is difficult terrain for creatures other than me. Would that be outside of that circle? Like, would my party be protected inside of it, or would
No, that would count for them too. Like them being inside of that.
Well, then never mind. I don't want. I thought it was protective. I don't want to do that.
Specifically for you, it is protective. But yeah, if not for like a full party.
Well, then I might cast it and then just like move ahead to see if I can.
Great.
If that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Almost like clear a path. Like if there's any like debris, obstacles, whatever. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is helpful. So I'll make you are one of the people making a survival check.
Okay.
And I'll let you do it with advantage, with you kind of not being as affected by the storm.
I have proficiency, so I can.
Yeah.
And also, I'm kind of on his shoulder. Does that the wind?
You live in nature.
You'd have to hop.
With advantage, it was still a 6.
Oh.
You'd have to hop off and go separate for yours.
Okay.
You can
To
hang
do
on
a
one of my
separate-
antlers.
To not be affected by his spell in a negative way.
Okay. You hear like a fake like.
Blown off.
And I land like flat in front of TD.
Come on.
And I like
Come on.
claw my way up my staff. And then claw. I just are like hanging like a little gremlin from his antlers.
I need more unserious character from Rachel in my life. This is so
I
good.
can't even like
You
get
do
through
serious so well too, and I love it. But this is another level for you.
it. Stop laughing.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay. 18.
Great, that's good.
I love it.
He's a one-track mind. He
Yes.
has to survive in order to kill.
Great. So for the first couple hours of
Yes,
this
I killed
trip,
him.
you were able to lead the party through the blizzard and not be driven off course at all as you were continuing to head northward. Through that, then, there are areas of very thin ice that you're able to guide people around, where you yourself step on it, but you do not. You're a small cookie, and you do not break the ice, and so you're able to then move especially large snowmen and those with hoofed feet who would probably slip on slippery surfaces. Though I'm not making any assumptions, you're able to guide people safely through this storm. Eventually, to a place where you do then see ahead of you. The biting wind howls, and this blizzard does intensify. Eventually, snowflakes do whip through the air and stinging any of your exposed skin or cookie or crumb or snow. And as you forge ahead relentlessly, this frosty landscape offers no respite. Each step becomes harder and harder, but you are led through by your extremely brave and cunning gingerbread cookie.
I don't know if you can describe them.
Eventually, what you do see once some of the storm does clear is you can see a space ahead of you that could offer you some protection from the storm, and you could wait it out. You can see the opening of a cave system right ahead of you that would give you some protection. And so what I'd also like is for a perception check from somebody as well.
+4.
Me.
Here we
One
go.
perception check, and then separately any investigation check as well. Somebody would like to claim that.
Doing perception. The 8.
Okay.
Frig. That was in that one.
Okay. And there could be one other investigation check as well.
Oh.
Anybody? Bueller?
Anyone got good investigation?
I do not,
Oh,
but
yes.
I'll do it.
Mine's the old goose egg.
I have
Whoa,
good
yeah.
investigation, but I'm not good at rolling dice. It's a 1.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Great.
I
Plus
just
5.
What are the
I
odds
just
of that?
slipped.
Plus 5.
How does that even happen?
Yeah. Okay. So
Both of us?
Dee Dee
just
points
stupid.
out the specific entrance to where the cave actually opens up in a way that you all could approach and get around to get through. A couple of you starts to look in a little bit closer and try to see what type of cave this may be. But what all of you feel very confident in is the need for an immediate source of protection from the heavy storm that is surrounding you all.
Are there any kind of leaves inside? Like how far inside? Like brush on the ground? Anything that could catch fire?
No, as soon as the cave entrance opens up, there's nothing inside. Around the outside, you can see plenty of trees.
Genji is gonna take his little staff and go and like go like that and cast create bonfire as far into the cave as
Okay.
he can.
Yeah.
You had create bonfire, but you were using flaming. Yes.
He's mostly like cookie at this point. Like I'd say 95% cookie, 5% functioning neurons.
And 4% just want to kill.
He's yeah. He's -1 intelligence.
Clearly.
So
Brilliant.
Does
Yeah.
anyone remember from New Girl? Give me cookie, got you cookie,
Yeah.
man.
Give me cookie, I got you
Give me
cookie.
cookie, got you cookie. That's you. That's Genji.
Make a perception check for me as well as you create the source of light and heat and start to. Oh, I'll take a cookie and start to open this up for folks. And
perception
Give me
is a
cookie, I got
7.
you cookie.
Not very good.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
I cast it 60 feet away. That's the range.
Well, the wall in front of you is maybe 20 feet in, and
And
so
I cast it to that.
I'll eat a cookie right when I needed to talk.
Sorry.
So, ahead of you, you can see that this cave branches off into two directions, to the left and to the right. And as you step in, the biting wind, the snow, all of that ceases, and you step into the warm fire that has now been created on the inside as well.
You hear. As Genji enters the cave and heads to the bonfire.
Everyone else?
We can't investigate anymore now that we're in there, right?
Now that you're on the inside of the cave, yes, you could do a perception check.
Be better than a 1. That's better. A 10.
Okay.
Middle of the road.
You can see that to the right, this pathway extends further on into the cave and around a corner, so you're not sure exactly where that leads. To your left, you can see that the cave path actually ends maybe 30 to 40 feet away, and that there's a slick spot across on the left side too, from where you're sitting by the fire, that there's some form of frozen body of water off to the left.
How deep does that ice look?
You can roll an investigation check as you walk over towards the frozen water and check that out.
I rolled a 5.
Total?
Yeah.
You don't know, man. It's all frozen ice.
Is there anyone in there with us? Anything living currently?
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check as well.
Perception 18.
Okay. So, looking around, you do notice that there are some tracks within this place that look like very large footprints. In addition to that, too, as you look over towards Frosty, I almost said Snowman, it would have been embarrassing. If you look over towards Frosty and towards the frozen water, you can see that there's actually a treasure chest at the bottom of this frozen lake, or frozen pond that you got going on there.
Can shape water apply to ice?
Yeah.
I want to move the ice. I mean, it says that I can instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of water as I direct.
So you can change the direction of moving water with that.
I can cause water to form into simple shapes and animate in my direction. I can change water's color or opacity, and then I can freeze the water. It doesn't say about unfreezing water.
Yeah, I would let you unfreeze the surface at the top, but that doesn't displace the water between you and the chest.
Okay. I will unfreeze as much water as I am able.
You have like a big, maybe like 7-foot diameter circle that you're able to kind of open up at the top of frigid cold water.
And and the chest is still frozen lower than that?
It's down maybe, let me see. It's down maybe like 30 or 40 feet.
Okay. Can I, seeing that it didn't quite get any, if I were to, well, never mind. That's too far away. Just kidding. I can't do anything.
Does anyone have power to yield flame? We need to melt this ice.
You melted the ice. It's just that there's 30 to 40
It's like
feet of
freezing
water,
water.
between you and the chest.
Oh, okay, so the chase is no longer encased. It's just...
The surface of the water was melted. That's what
Okay,
you
I
now have access to.
see. I think I'm just going to get in then.
Okay.
I mean, I'm made of snow.
Yeah, absolutely.
When he yells that, and Gigi is looking around for flint rocks, and when he sees that, he's gonna like scurry his way over to Frosty and kind of go and touch him and cast guidance
Okay.
and scurry back to look for his rocks.
Is that for skill checks or saving throws? Does it include saving throws?
Add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. I touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. It can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
Got it. Okay. It is going to be a saving throw, so it won't apply to that. But
Okay, never mind.
if you needed to make a skill check, I would have been there. Yeah. I'll have you make a Constitution save. Or no, it is a Constitution check. I'm so sorry. You can't add that to that. It's a check, not a saving throw. You're going to make a DC 15 Constitution check. So D20 plus your Constitution modifier plus what?
D4.
Plus D4. And then because you are a snowman, and this is kind of your natural environment, I'll let you do it with advantage as well.
Hey. Alright. Oh, with the d4. So that is a 10 total, or the exact same.
Joffrey?
We do have.
We do have Joffrey. Yeah, well, it's a 10 or an 8.
I don't want you to get stuck in that water.
So
Okay.
I'm fine with
For
Joffrey.
what it's worth, you will get the treasure chest. You will pull it up to the surface. You are going to take 7 cold damage.
Oh, you're fine.
Or I'm so sorry, it is 10 cold damage, not 7. But
Whatever.
10 cold damage.
Oh, sorry,
just-
20 cold damage.
How
Sorry,
does
you
a
died.
snowman take cold damage?
Would it be hot damage?
Well, now.
Justify that to me.
Parts of him that are normally mobile and
Frostbite.
cold are now frozen and hurting.
Snow is not as cold as ice.
So I jumped in, eager to find this treasure chest.
Yeah.
But when I
Okay,
jumped
you're all
in
angry.
and took this damage,
Oh gosh.
it's I hopped in a little too fast, and my hat stayed on the surface of the water as I sunk down.
You rolled it. Wait, you rolled a
no.
d20 for that?
I roll a d6.
No, roll a d20
oh,
to figure
you're
out
right.
if the hat falls off.
You're so right. You're so right. Let's see if. Yes. So it floats away. And I sink to the bottom of the water.
Okay, now roll a d6.
Now I roll a d6 to see what happens to me. Oh, heavens. I get,
Your face, you're just so like, what's about to happen? You're locked in.
I'm scared
see
of
if we
wild
can get that
magic.
die out.
You never know what's gonna happen. We could all die.
This one just says, campaign ends, we lose.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. So the hydrogen bomb inside me detonates, and we're evaporate. No. I rolled a 6, which my chaos chart says a shield of swirling snowflakes forms around the wearer, granted a +2 bonus to armor class until the hat is put back on.
The best one.
The best one for when I'm underwater,
Yep.
getting cold.
Completely safe.
Great.
It doesn't block any of the damage from the cold.
No.
So yeah, you're able to.
So you just see me get a little shinier as I go down there and grab the chest and swim back up,
Put your little hat back on.
kind of doggy paddle over to the hat, and put it hat back on.
Fantastic. As you open this chest, you open up. Inside, it's entirely filled with like gold coins and whatnot. There's 100 electrum, which is worth more than gold. So you have pretty much 1,000
It's
gold
Bitcoin.
pieces, 120 gold pieces. There's a small pouch of berries in this as well that are frozen and wet, and a bag of holding, which is a magical bag that you can pretty much stuff a bunch of stuff into, like Hermione's bag that she has in her.
Whoa! I start dumping all the coins in that.
Great, perfect.
Frosty, that could be so many cakes.
Enough cakes to kill a reindeer. Be careful.
That was so threatening and told to be careful.
He's a nice reindeer. Shame if something happened to it.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Starts quoting Ecclesiastes. Having too many riches.
A time to eat cake and a time to not eat cake.
Alright, I'm just dumping coins into my bag.
Right. What would y'all like to do next?
Wait out in the storm. I don't know if I want to go down the other side.
Has anyone explored that other path?
I said echo, and it just kind of echoed all the way down.
Oh.
Can we tell which direction the path goes? Like, does it seem like it goes even more northward, or is
Make a
it?
survival check.
Okay.
Anyone else, if you want to tack onto that survival check?
Gingy will, because he's looking for more rocks.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a roll that's good. 17.
Okay. And Gingy?
8.
Okay. You're in a cave full of rocks, but everything seems to be like kind of frozen and cold and encased in some bit of ice with that. Frosty, as you kind of gain some bearings and look around outside for a minute and come back in, your natural connection to this area and knowing snow, ice, and the weather well, further into this cave leads northward.
It seemed that this path could take us closer to Santa.
The evil Santa.
Yes. Or perhaps misunderstood. We don't know why he do what he do.
You see Gingy over in the corner, standing in one of the big footprints, completely oblivious to the footprint, but is trying to wedge something that may or may not be a flint rock out of one of the toes of it. And as you guys look over, you see him in the giant footprint, and he's like trying to like scrape it out and like getting frustrated by the size of the footprint, trying to like pace around it, and, like step in it.
Did the footprints go further into that path too?
Yes.
So trade-offs seem we get close to Santa.
And then I gesture at the Gingy tableau that we're all observing.
Or we get closer to whatever make this. Is trade-off. Procon!
I'm willing to fight.
Yes, is good. We strong, we do. We win.
We win.
I want to talk to this Santa because he was really mean.
That is right.
It wasn't nice.
We have power of God and anime and cake on our side.
And I start to lumber forward into the path.
Right.
Yes, but backing up a little bit when people
And I
were
back up a little bit.
investigating. When people were investigating, Vetiver, I almost said Veveteer again.
The Velveteen Rabbit.
Vetiver, the Velveteen Rabbit, Vivian, was just like sitting in a corner. Should feel like she can contribute much, and was making like laurel wreaths, like the people wear on their heads, but like with pine and mistletoe.
What are Yanny wreaths?
Yeah, it's a golden blue dress. And she's making like mistletoe, pine, head laurel wreaths for the party. And she doesn't even like say anything. She just like places them on an antler, puts it down on Gingy.
Immediately takes it off and starts shredding it.
I can't just like, I'm not like Thule. I can't just do like fire real quick to like set his on fire for
You
it,
have a
right?
flamethrower.
Can I just use that?
Yes.
Great. Actually, I start to place it on Gingy's head, and I say, "Oh, sorry," and I like put it down to the side, and then I do want to shoot it with the flamethrower to catch it on fire,
Cool.
and then give to him.
A scorched
Do I need to
twig.
roll for
No,
anything?
no.
Okay. And then I just
It is yours.
place it back, and it's like smoke coming off of it.
He like goes up to like rip it off to like shred it, and he stares at it and goes. It's hypnotized.
And then I say, Frosty, excuse me. I can't reach your head.
I take it and I place it on top
Nice.
of, I guess, the
On your
hat.
top hat.
Yes.
It can go around the brim.
There it is.
Yeah, I designed it that way. And I
Yeah.
say, splendid.
Perfect.
Festive.
As you then lumber forward into the cave, you can see that this branch even splits off into two, and there's a bit of a storage room off to your left with a bunch of boxes and chests and stuff all stacked on one another, and even some like tracks and things on the ground that you can see around this area too. And then off to the right, there's a pathway that is closed off by some like vines and branches that have grown through the walls that are then frozen and rock hard as well. That pathway seems to be blocked.
A room of chests.
Yes.
Can I try to use my antlers to knock it open?
One of the chests?
The blocked
Oh yeah, absolutely.
entrance point.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Roll an attack.
Yeah, just do one of those horn attacks that you got there.
Okay.
Don't let your
20.
laurel wreath fall off.
I would never. What do I add to it?
You should see off to the right of your horns, it will say a plus a number, and then the damage that you roll on it as well. If you're looking at the like actions area of your D&D.
Got it.
You're doing an unarmed strike?
Antler.
Oh, there it is.
14.
Yeah, that hits, and so go ahead and roll damage for that attack as well.
Two.
Okay, great. So you knock away. Well, did you add your other stuff?
Yeah,
that you
plus
do
3
as well?
and
The plus 3 was what I did for the first one.
What are you looking at
DC?
right now?
Antlers?
Antlers. Yeah. You should see damage on the far right.
It was
See-
1d8 plus 1.
Okay, gotcha.
And I rolled a
gotcha.
nat one on
okay.
there.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Does a nat one apply to
Perfect.
other?
No, you're good. So yeah, you slam your antler off into it, and then a bit of it kind of cracks and breaks down, and you're saying that you're initiating some way to then break through, and you could eventually like whittle down all of these and push your way through this hallway.
Can I do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do it again.
Somebody was checking through the chests and stuff while she was doing that.
Can I make sure there aren't any traps first?
Yeah, investigate.
I got 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Right.
Then
okay.
plus 3, 23.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can double your damage on this attack.
Double damage.
Gingy is investigating around the backs of the chests. Like, who knows why?
19.
Scurrying around.
Yeah.
Trying to burrow behind them.
Yeah,
Just
go
to
ahead
see
and
if
roll
there's
an
anything.
investigation check. As well.
I'm just staying in the middle of these 3
19.
paths and keeping watch.
Roll a perception check. Within your investigation of some of these lost supplies, you are able to find one of these chests is filled with a bunch of gold and money as well. And so in collaboration with one of your friends with an endless bag, you're able to stuff away a good, like, another 100 electrum pieces as well. Another 1,000 gold pieces.
Dirty,
Loaded.
dirty 20.
Okay, you find a chest that has this, like, sack of ointment in it. You're not exactly sure what it does at this point, but you can find this glass jar that has some thick mixture inside of it that kind of looks and smells like aloe.
I unscrew it. I have gingerbread hands. and I go, and then I dip one little tip of my gingerbread
The
hand.
worst person to find.
And I'm looking at it like,
Healing ointment.
do I
It
notice
heals
anything?
you and it feels nice.
Does it?
Yeah, kind of. But go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me as well.
Okay.
What was your damage on that antler attack?
6.
Okay.
You should get really exfoliated.
0?
This is like a weird jelly. It does not taste good, and you couldn't imagine what it would be baked into that would make it taste better.
I toss the jar behind me,
Yeah.
and I would hope narratively that Frosty is behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can
I
you
just-
notice this?
I just and toss it.
Yeah. Yeah, between a couple of you, either landing into his back as he's looking around, this jar just kind of lands amongst the party. Meanwhile, Dee Dee has busted through one of these vine walls, and behind it is another. But you've made some progress. You can see that.
There's another wall. I got one.
Ah,
I can join Dee Dee in ramming the
Oh
next one.
gosh, yeah, do like a 20-foot ram.
Thanks, brother.
20-foot ram. So this is the horn attack, right? And I do charger. Let me see what let me do. So first I have to roll a hit, right? That's not gonna hit. That was a 3. Do I add anything to that?
Yeah. Proficiency and your strength, I would assume, or maybe dexterity, depending on how you built him.
Oh, okay. I'm always so bad at finding these things.
If you're looking at your horn attack, it would be on the far right of that as well, plus something.
Oh. So proficiency and then plus the hit. 10.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
So you roll your damage, and then you add 5 to it as well for your charge.
That's terrible.
Frosty or Vetiver, would you like to check out that ointment?
9.
9. Okay, you just about broke through the wall on your own while slamming into it. As you two reindeer continue to just batter at the wall, within the next 5 minutes of him ramming, backing up and slamming into it, and you kind of chiseling away at your own headbutts, you're able to get through the next 2 layers as well.
Nice.
Ointment check. Are we checking
Yeah,
that
I'd
out?
like to check it out with my ability to cure wounds and stuff, unless Snowman feels strongly.
Do an Arcana check as well.
I hope no one's mistletoe wreaths fell off their heads.
Ginny's scurrying around the perimeter for anything else that he can find or get into.
Okay, roll a perception check.
It's another 1.
Uh-oh.
I don't want
Let's
you
switch-
this dice
yeah, let's
anymore.
switch.
There's more d20s in here. It's just the other ones treat me poorly too.
You couldn't imagine what type of dessert this.
It was a 4,
You couldn't imagine what type of dessert this baked into it would taste good.
but I don't throw anything away, so I put it in my bag. This character is based on Cassandra.
Yes. Yes. You still have it. You're not sure what it does. Okay. You're able to bust through the next couple of walls, though. As the party moves forward, first thing you see directly ahead of you is a giant wall of ice, And it's hard to see through, but you can vaguely see a figure on the opposite side of it, or some form of shape. And then off to your left is a mighty large room. This opens up into a pretty large cavern.
I'm gonna use my shape water again to change the opacity of that wall.
Okay.
I want to make it fully transparent.
Sure, but go ahead and make a perception check. Lowered the DC of the perception check.
Oy. 12. No, 13.
Perfect, okay. Through this ice wall, you can see that there is a skeleton on the opposite side, but he is holding a couple of items and strewn about. You can see some things around. You can see a leather bag, and you can see that there's a necklace around his neck. You can even see that there's a small mirror in his hand, and then there's an additional necklace on him that is glowing with some form of magical energy.
Is it Cicero? Seems like Cicero.
Is he just lying on the other side of the wall, or is he encased in ice?
Beyond the wall is it's open area. This wall is all made of ice, though. He's not encased, but between you and him is a wall of ice.
Huh, okay.
That guy died.
Very good.
Whew.
Is that direction north, or is north the other direction?
That direction is north, but there's not a pathway on the opposite end. This is an enclosed cavern.
Okay.
Did he die due to something nefarious?
You can't really tell through the wall. It's a full-on skeleton, so he's been here for a while.
Straight up very dead.
Straight up very dead.
So is it like water now? That you.
No, it is clear, though.
Gigi's gonna yeah, he's gonna pull out his little quarterstaff, candy cane quarterstaff, and he's gonna like work his way through people's legs up to the top, and then cast. He's gonna cast Eldritch Blast
Okay.
at
Oh.
the ice wall,
Okay.
and he's gonna
Alright.
roll to hit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 19.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
The damage is 12, so not that great.
Okay. No, I mean, that is a significant amount of damage, but for the sake of what this wall is, damage-wise, yes, it would take a long time of persistent eldritch blasting for this to actually open up some way through. What you all do learn from seeing this is some type of extremely strong physical attack against it may break it down, and of course is a wall of ice, so any type of heating or flame would assist that as well.
Gigi's then going to cast Create Bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's going to be angry first. He's going to go. He's going to hiss. He's going to wait for it. Hiss. And then he's going to cast a bonfire as close up, like slamming it against the wall as close as he can.
Okay. That has reduced the DC needed to break down the wall physically. If somebody would like to make an attempt to then slam into this wall in any way that they would or could, we can see if y'all can break through.
Can I use my flamethrower, or does it seem like physical force is
The
more
bonfire
needed?
with that is
Okay.
that's kind of
I
covered.
mean, my shape water is a cantrip, so couldn't I just melt the wall again? Like I did
That
that
would take a very long time of persistent focus with that as well.
I'll charge into it.
Okay. All right.
Roll to hit.
All right,
Do
stop
another
begging, everyone.
Horns attack.
3, yep. 10.
10 total.
10 to hit.
10 to hit. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll. I'll have you roll either a certain amount of damage, or if you want to do a strength check, either one of those could potentially work.
Strength check.
Up to you about if you wanted to roll damage with that charge, or if you wanted to just roll a strength check.
I'll just roll. I'll roll for damage.
Okay, makes sense too, because you get that +5 for charging into it.
2, 5, 10. 2 plus 3 plus 5.
Great. Okay, cool. Yeah, as you step back, and you've got a flamethrower working along, you have this bonfire, and you've been able to clarify and kind of weaken it as a total effort from you all. Then you just step back, horns down, bust through, and you're able to then shatter through part of it, and then squeeze through the rest of it as a Rudolph-sized holes that created into this ice wall. As you rummage around on the opposite side, you are able to grab a couple of things. A necklace that you're unsure of exactly what it does, but it has a glass ball in it that is then a little mote of fire. You can see just kind of spiraling within. Beyond that, too, there's a necklace that is made entirely of animal teeth. This little steel mirror, and then within a leather bag off to the side, there's a couple hundreds silver pieces, and then 40 gold pieces in that as well. So a lot more wealth for y'all to accumulate. This little fire necklace, this animal teeth necklace, and a mirror.
So it was Lorla. That's his name.
I put all that on my horns and I
Squeeze
look
your way
around
through.
there. You said it's an end of a cavern?
Yeah,
Like it's just ice walls.
There's just the
on
one small room with a skeleton in it.
it. Head back out.
Viv is going to lean over and say, if you like it, it's fine. But I think that Genji would really like the tooth necklace. But it looks cool on you, so it's up to you.
You can give it to him.
Oh, I think you should give it to him. You guys need to bond.
I do this with my horns.
Just fling it.
Chuck it and fling it.
As in, Gingy's been watching this exchange very intently, and as the necklace comes, it's like it was destined to be. And he holds up his arm, and
Little Ginger.
the necklace like slams into him, and he just falls back and lays with the necklace on top of him.
Wow.
I imagine he doesn't actually put it on as a necklace. He he
Insert-
sticks
a
it
wallet
into the frosting that makes his mouth,
It makes
and like,
Well, he does already have candy corn fangs.
and now he has layers,
sure.
like a shark.
I wanna
He-
take the mirror from Dolph's antlers and put it in my mouth and just like walk over to Gingy and just like put the mirror so that he can see himself.
Gingy, you see like his eyebrows go. An evil smile on his face. He likes it a lot.
Beautiful. There's also a fire necklace.
It was just like
Gingy, you had your turn.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do anything with it as a melee character, so I hand it off to a spellcaster. Who would that be?
It's too hot for me. Thank you, though.
Probably me.
Yeah.
Other fire things.
You have a spell, since I created your character and this is one shot, you have a spell called Identify that you could use that will tell you everything you need to know about this necklace.
Like, so we can see if Brew can use it or not?
No,
Or-
so that you can
Oh,
know
okay.
what this thing does. So you can mark off a first level spell to cast Identify, and then I'll tell you what the necklace is.
Fun fact, I don't know how to mark off a first level spell. I was
It's
trying
a
to do that
checkbox if you
earlier.
go to spells, and then, yeah.
Never done spells before, just a baby. Okay.
Check. The box has been checked.
My first checkbox.
Roll a d6 for me right now, too. Anyone can.
Yeah, use the new one.
3.
3. Okay, so there's a total of 6 beads hanging from this necklace. You can use an action to detach a bead and throw it up to 60 feet away. When it reaches the end of this trajectory, the bead detonates into a 3rd level fireball spell. You can hurl multiple beads or even the whole necklace as one action, and when you do, increase the level of fireball by 1 for each bead beyond the first.
Wow.
You do not have to be a spellcaster to use this necklace, and it literally lets you cast this fireball spell for every bead that you throw.
Wow.
And it was, sorry, it detonates into a fireball, you can throw multiple beads or the whole necklace. What was the number?
It has 6 beads
3rd
hanging
level.
from it.
Okay, I got sorry, I thought it was something else. I also keep thinking you're saying bees.
Beads.
Yeah, I got
A
it.
jar of bees.
Fiery
Bees? As after the necklace was offered to me and I passed it by, I'm gonna start to turn towards the other path.
Yep.
And just kind of not getting away from the group, but just starting to peer down it,
Yeah.
see what I see.
Go ahead and make a perception check as well.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, as you kind of step forward a little bit and look ahead, you immediately notice that there are piles of snow in this area, and then also you can see that there are gathered around corpses of different adventurers and travelers in the space as well. And as you start to just kind of peer in and get a sense of like what is actually in this room, a Yeti blasts out one of the piles of snow and immediately starts to just like roar and attack at you. So you rolled low and you are surprised. So this Yeti is going to get a surprise attack on you before we enter into initiative.
Oh.
What does this mean for Frosty?
Uh-oh.
Brethren?
Yeah, I just gave him a hug and he's my... And now he's my dad.
Right.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, I found him.
The true meaning of Christmas is the dad we found along the way.
Is making it your dad.
Yes.
I want to ask about the necklace. I was gonna say that Gingy was like tapping the teeth together to try and get them to spark. Does that matter right now? What it
Like
does?
if there's any details about the necklace itself?
Yeah.
Just we can quick hand this. It is a pretty mundane. It's just a tooth necklace.
He loves it.
What about the mirror? Are all of the
The
things
mirror is
that way?
also mundane.
Okay, except for it's just the flower
Yep.
fire one.
Does a 15 hit our friend Frosty?
Yes.
Okay. So as this Yeti blasts out, he then swipes some claws out towards you, and he does 8 slashing damage to you.
Oh.
Roll a d20.
That hat's gonna come a tumbling right
that
off.
hat is coming off.
Oh no.
Oh, that'll be a good thing, right?
Maybe, sometimes. Okay, well, let me take my damage
That
first.
goes a tumbling, the fists go
I'm
rumbling.
rumbling.
Well, everyone's just had a fun Frosty adventure, and meanwhile, I'm half dead.
Oh.
Alright. I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
Hat stays on.
Half stays on.
Okay, this
You whacked me, but I'm
Yeti
okay.
blasts out of the snow and slashes at Frosty. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Grab my hat. For opposed to what I yell, danger! As it happens.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Oh.
18.
Give me 1 second on the actual numbers.
No.
Do I add it?
Yes.
Great.
So, 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you rolled 20 or higher, what'd you roll?
21.
21.
21.
And you are Dee Dee.
I am.
It's like five Christmas music.
Actually, this music is all created by James,
Whoa.
and it's included in this box.
Wait,
James!
James wrote the music that goes along with his module. Yeah.
James, let's go!
Yeah. Get yourself this box.
Shout outs to James.
If you rolled a 15 to 20,
Me.
what'd you get?
19.
19. I'm gonna write a V for you.
Yeah, you can put me. That's fine.
This marker is running dry. You can barely see it, but it'll work. V. 10 to 15.
No.
5 to 10. What'd you get? 5. Okay.
Wait, you rolled something.
Right, I rolled an 11.
Wait, were
We
you
passed that.
Sorry, I rolled an 11.
Okay.
Were you listening?
No, apparently not.
James
Danger.
runs great music and you're not even listening.
Yeah.
Your little angry stick figure. And then Frosty, you rolled an 11.
Honestly, can we just stop playing? The rest of the night?
It's a rave now.
Frosty is here,
Caribbean.
which then leaves our last one, bro, at 4. Okay. I still have a cantrip willfall. One from our last time.
Oh.
That's true.
Santa?
That's what I'm saying. There's
Wow.
like Santa noises in the background.
That's so creepy.
I'm scared.
Little bro figure there for us.
That goes really good.
Okay, starting us off, Dee Dee, you are up. You saw this Yeti blast out and attack your big snowman friend.
I would like to run and slip in the ice and try to
Yeah.
knock his ankles out.
Great, absolutely. Go.
Bowling DD.
Are you trying to trip him or you want to hurt him?
Trip him.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Are we Arena of the Mind doing it?
Yes, thank you for asking.
Didn't make any snow.
Oh,
I don't know
dirty
what
20.
Dirty 20, okay. Yes, as your clumsy reindeer friend runs and slips through the ice, you hear this, "Ah!" as she's spinning around, and then slams off into the side, and the Yeti just, and then slams down onto the ground as he He ends up on the opposite side. So on the backside of this Yeti, on the ground as the reindeer, just like laughing and in just the joyful occasion that is tripping this Yeti. After Dee Dee is now V.
Oh, that's me. I will try to shoot him with my crossbow.
Okay.
Shoot him with my gun.
Yeah.
Already blows.
My AR-15.
Technically, he is prone, and so because he's laying down, you have disadvantage on a ranged attack. He's harder to hit while he's laying down.
This is a smaller target. Are you afraid? Stay on target.
So I can use my flamethrower,
As a bonus action.
or I could do. When can I do this eldritch cannon?
That is the flamethrower.
That is the flamethrower. So I can only use it like once.
No, you can continuously
okay,
use it throughout. Yeah,
And then firebolt is separate from that.
that's an action. Yes, so you could use. That's also a ranged attack, so that would be a disadvantage, though.
Boomerang is also range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess let me just do the bonus action first.
Sure. I think it's a saving throw from him. Dex.
13.
Yeah, he's at disadvantage on the saving throw because he's prone, thanks to your reindeer friend. And he definitely failed it, so go ahead and roll your fire damage. That's so good.
Kill Santa.
His name spells other things.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Stan.
Like irreversible.
Stan.
6 damage.
6 fire damage? Great. He is... I think there's something about fire damage with him. Maybe I'm wrong. No, there is not. Okay, yeah, he is damaged by the fire.
And that's it.
Yes, you hurt him. Your action.
I mean, I guess I may as well. Gosh, my only melee weapon has a -1. Oh.
Just do the ranged attack with disadvantage.
Okay. I will try.
Your crossbow.
My crossbow.
Yeah.
I don't really want to waste one of my thirst checks on open fire sucker arrows right now. Okay, the lowest one is still 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh!
16 hits. Well, that's good.
Yeah, this was the first attack roll against him.
11 damage.
Alright, so V shoots him with a crossbow, and the flamethrower spurts out with some fire as well, dealing a total of 17 damage in this attack.
You're like,
Whoa!
time to start turtleneck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Frosty, you are up.
I'm mad that he tried to knock my hat off. So I'm going to use Chill Touch on him.
Okay.
And that's that. I rolled a 17.
17, that does hit.
I'm going to. That's just going to be 1d8 necrotic damage. You know, really, the mini game of this whole campaign, getting the dice out of the phone.
Do you like fidget toys? Well, try to get the dice out of your Dragon's Nest delivery subscription box.
That would be 4 points of necrotic damage for your boy.
For an immediate onslaught between the three of you, this Yeti has been tripped, burned, shot, and then a necrotic hand has then severed part of his body, as you all have retaliated pretty heftily. He's about half. He's looking rough at this point.
And he can't regain hit points even if he wanted to.
He's wanting to.
I didn't realize the +1 for the crossbow also applied to the other rolls, so.
What did you do that all manually, not using the D&D
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
I only did 1d8 plus 3.
Okay, is that what's on the damage for the crossbow, or are you looking somewhere else?
And so it says crossbow light +1,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1d8 plus 3.
It automatically included that damage.
Sorry.
You're good.
I've never done spells.
I know. You just attacked with a crossbow, though.
I've never
That's fine.
Cool.
Just letting us know.
Great. So yeah, y'all have done some hefty damage. Also, for viewers' sake as well, this was a level 16 campaign. When it came to the box, I reduced it for a level 4 party. So this is a level 4 party going at this. But if you do the box, it is for level 16. If you're wondering why there's different abilities and stuff like that. Anyway.
So in the original campaign, it's the Hydra Yeti. Every time you kill a Yeti, 2 more Yetis.
Do you have your own subscription? Okay. After our snowman friend, we have our gingerbread friend.
Okay, so maybe the Yeti from a distance hears this like fake hiss. And he sees like this small little brown figure running through the snow. It's like its quarterstaff getting inhaled like an AK-47 in its arm. It's hissing and like shuffling its little heart out. Running, you can hear the faint hiss getting louder and louder as it's getting closer. How does the Yeti look? Oh, you still halfway down. Okay.
It's lying down on the ground. It's just
Can I intimidate as a reaction or is that an action?
It would be an action.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I wanted to. The reason I was asking is I wanted to intimidate him into freezing in fear, so I can hit him better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's already laying down on the ground, so you have advantage
so a ranged spell attack will be. What about if I'm on the ground? Is it still a disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shuffling my way up, and okay. I want to try and cast Shatter on him in a way that doesn't hit the...
Yeah, you can do that.
So I do it for 20. Alright. I as I'm shuffling and running, I like raise my little quarterstaff and I'm like swinging it and and I cast Shatter.
Mm-hmm. Con save from your boy?
Con save 14, which I hope is at disadvantage since he's on the ground. Or maybe,
Constitution doesn't work that way. It's more of just his formidability. However, his total is 11.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
So, that is going to be 3d8 damage.
Whoa. There you go.
Well, it depends. It could be 3. Let's see. You won't. Do it, you won't. Okay, 11 damage.
Alright, that's about mid. Well, slightly less than mid. That's fine. Yeah, so this Yeti, as he's laying on the ground, this rupture of magical energy starts to shake the area, and even icicles fall from the ceiling on the top of the cave that then start to puncture him through, and then they shatter and break within him, and he's just taking this hefty magical damage from that attack. He rolled real low on initiative, so we were going up to Broodolph.
As a bonus action,
Just kidding.
I'm going to cast Shillelagh.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so your quarterstaff starts to glow with some magical energy as well.
I just need to get a little louder.
Broodolph, you're up.
Yay!
Because you are a rogue, and because you can charge him, you will get sneak attack damage because he's prone.
Yeah. Sneak attack is plus...
It's extra damage, so just roll your normal antler attack.
Well, it's plus 2d6?
Yeah. It should be 3d6 at top, but maybe... Does it say 2d6 there?
Yeah.
Okay. It goes up higher later then. So 2d6, yeah. But roll to hit first, with advantage.
Roll to hit. I add my proficiency plus the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So, full-on damage. Sneak attack, 2d6.
Nice.
Plus 5 for your charger.
6. 11. And then I do another d6 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah, that's enough. Okay. Rudolph, how would you wreck into this prone Yeti and wreck this boy?
Mess with the deer, get the horns.
That's right.
How's his body facing?
How are you on at the face, man? I'm good.
Let's say that he's...
You can turn his body and then run back and then charge into him. Line it up.
He's laying on his back and looking at everyone who has attacked him, and then here's galloping and
Looks back at you guys.
As Rudolph lowers his head almost like a snowplow, just pushing everything to the side and just full on rams him straight in the face.
And he gets buried into a pile of snow off to the side as you just like and like skirt yourself off into a stop from that run.
So he ran out of the snow and in a single turn we just obliterated him.
Threw him back in.
Threw his limp, ragdoll body.
You remember where you came from!
Just-
Get in there!
We didn't even ask him anything.
No.
He shouldn't have attacked our friend.
Truly.
So, good.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So, exposed through this space, our Frosty can then see an opening off straight north out of this cave that you can see then leads pretty obviously into a particular area that seems interesting because looking down towards the ground and off northward, you can see sleigh tracks that are moving through this cave that exist here. The tracks aren't moving. A sleigh has moved through here.
Slay! Slay!
We slayed him. We see the sleigh.
That's right. Slay for a slay.
Can I do a quick comparison of the Yeti's feet and see that it's the same size as the footprint that we saw?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Something. That is all.
Nice.
What do you see, Frosty?
I just bellowed slay the sleigh tracks, and then Frosty's gonna follow them.
Should we search the Yeti's body? You think he had
Yes,
anything?
yes.
You think he has pockets?
He has another 5,000 gold.
More teeth
More
for Gingy's
cakes.
necklace.
More cakes. You think he made it? Oh,
I'm pretty one track mind here.
this is good.
I'll say that Gingy was running around the perimeter and then like still hitting him with the stick, looking for a weak spot. So just
Yeah, guts.
Heal, Gingy, heal.
did I find?
Did you roll a
Did you
investigation
roll
check?
an investigation check?
Did you say?
I said go ahead. Yeah. You said investigating, and so I said go ahead.
Oh, I didn't.
Why not?
It's that -1 intelligence.
Nat 20 plus
Whoa.
1.
Okay. You found 5
Flintstones?
separate piles of skeletons that have been pretty thoroughly rummaged through to the point where they're almost bone dust from being slammed around and eaten and disposed of by this Yeti. She wanted this. And also, Gingy is loving this.
Yeah.
And then, but in one small snow pile off to the side, you'll find yourself a little matchbook.
Wow.
Yes.
Gingy dives on it, scurries it into his little arms, and then looks around at you to see if anyone notices, and then he carefully tucks it in his little gumdrop belt.
Yes.
Sweet.
I'm very stealthy. Can I go and steal a match from him?
Oh. Okay. Make a little stealth check.
Is it versus perception?
Your passive
Is
perception.
it for the candle on the cake?
So,
Somebody's
12.
birthday
your passive perception 12. Okay.
22.
Wow.
You got yourself a
You are
match.
very stealthy.
Yeah.
And I just kind of put it in my little mistletoe wreath.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh, next to a cranberry.
What could go wrong?
It's not lit. It's just there.
Wonderful. All right. Any other match distribution? Frosty, as you're leading folks forward, you're able to follow these sleigh tracks in the snow, and eventually you can see ahead in the forest a cottage. However, something is amiss, and it doesn't look quite like the home of the legendary Santa Claus. It looks a little bit off. You can't quite tell, but in any way that you have seen storybooks or even in person or hearing stories from other reindeer, something about this cottage looks a little bit off.
This looks off.
There you go. That's how you heard it.
Oh.
Approaching this quaint cottage nestled in the heart of the wintry forest, you notice something unsettling. Despite the enchanting aura that surrounds tales of Santa Claus, this dwelling exudes an air of eerie desolation. The snow-laden roof and frosted windows create a picturesque facade, but a subtle feeling of wrongness hangs in the frosty air. The chimney, typically associated with the jolly old gift-giver, stands silent and still, devoid of the expected wisps of smoke that should signal a warm hearth within. The once charming exterior now appears strangely foreboding, with a sense of abandonment that contrasts sharply with the festive season. The tracks from the sleigh lead directly to the reindeer stables, suggesting recent activity, yet an unsettling quietude permeates the surroundings.
I do not like this. A spook.
Are there other reindeers around?
Ooh, make a perception check.
8.
Okay. You can see that the stable is empty, and there are also some hoof tracks around, but you're not sure exactly where they lead. They seem to have done some circles.
You look around for Jinji. He is up the path on the way to the
Oh no!
He's like maybe 15 feet away, going at about this.
Shinji, wait, we don't know what's on the other side of the door. A spook.
What's in Gingy's hands?
Getting more and more Transylvania.
Arson!
He's not moving very fast, I'll tell you that, because it's a lot of snow.
Slowly make our way towards the house.
Okay, great.
I guess so, yeah.
All right, well, moving forward.
Gingy leading.
This Final Fantasy, that's what this feels like. Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I didn't catch rid of that yet. Yeah, heading up towards the front door, you can see that you're able to open the door and see inside. The first room is a long corridor that extends through, and you can see some stairways and even straight forward into a back wall. It's not guarded, and this immediate hallway is empty as well. You have access to the initial hallway of this home. How would you like to approach or go on further? There's a door to your left, there's a door to your right, there's a door straight forward. There's so much more to explore, but how would you like to approach?
Are there any lights on, or the sound of a crackling fire, or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. There are a couple torches off on each side on the walls that are lighting up the place. It does seem like it's active with somewhere, just like currently this room is empty.
Do you see any trash cans?
No, not within this initial hallway.
Does it smell like baked goods?
It does not smell like baked goods. In fact, it smells a little bit like ash.
Uh-oh.
Shinji moves towards the door on the left.
All right.
He's struggling a little bit after the slog through the snow, so y'all can probably.
How big was it? Did it seem big from the outside?
It did seem kind of big. Like, this space as a total might have like maybe 10 to 12 rooms within it as a whole, so it does seem pretty large.
I want to use the antler that doesn't have the mistletoe and the match on it to knock 3 times on the door.
Okay. As you're heading towards this left door. Gingy, as you approach it as well, you can tell that it is locked. And then as you slam into it 3 times, you do hear from the other side, "Oh ho ho! What is it that you require from me today? I have requested rest."
Is he mad?
Yes, you can see that there's a frustration and a bit of anger to him as well.
Santa!
That's it. That is all you say.
Is it Santa?
I'm waiting for an answer.
Mm-hmm. We can give up the ruse, Blitzen. What is up?
Oh.
My name's Dee Dee. Hi.
Not this Blitzen.
What is this?
What are you?
And you can hear heavy footfalls approaching the door.
I'm gonna leave and go around to the side of the house.
Okay.
Before we close the doors.
Mm-hmm.
He's eating out.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking about potentially coming in behind him through a side door or something.
You're a road reindeer.
Okay.
So I'm listening, but off to the edge where you can't see me.
Okay, you can hear, just for a couple of seconds here, footfalls approaching the door. Any other immediate reactions?
Oh.
I just ready myself for whatever's about to pop out that door.
Okay.
Yeah, can I ready a flamethrower without it being obvious or not?
Yeah.
Just for future what might happen.
Mhm.
How far was my movement around the corner if I needed to get back to the door?
With this time, 1 turn's movement. So if your movement speed's 30, 35, something like that, about that far.
I would like
to make a perception check for me as well, Michael. Go ahead.
I would like to be floating as close to the ceiling as I can.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Just like on her side, just like face up against the wall. Just
17.
okay. What were you saying, Rachel? Perfect. Okay. Michael, just for your sake of trying to figure out other doors and other entrances to flank around, you haven't seen or don't notice any other way for you to get inside of this cottage except for the main front door.
Okay. I stay within.
You could crash through a
range.
window around the corner, but there's another door.
Okay. I stay to where I can hear or whatever.
Okay. The door opens, and right in front across the door is Frosty, and so this large lumbering figure. Let me see if I can get a bit of an actual description here somewhere. Okay.
Jolly old elf, right?
A man turns to face you, his once jovial expression now replaced with a sly, almost sinister grin. He's dressed in this makeshift Santa outfit that barely conceals the gleam of this roguish figure underneath. He chuckles darkly. Ho, 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 my unsuspecting guests. It seems you stumbled upon the mastermind behind this festive facade. And as he leans against the kind of doorway beside you, he's looking over a couple of you that are immediately in front of him. Consider yourselves fortunate to learn of this moment for just this brief time, because I fear it will not last long. And he cracks his knuckles and then starts to kind of stretch out his arms and then kind of readies himself for
Can I
them.
shoot him with the flamethrower?
Sure, he can sneak in a little flame burst as he's kind of stretching and taking this moment.
Monologuing, doing the old villain move.
But after that, we'll go ahead and roll initiative.
Actually, do that still light
You are Santa?
I just do it. I just
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, he's rolling a saving throw anyway. What's the DC on this? I don't think.
13 dexterity.
Yeah, no, he did not roll high enough.
Explain your team below.
9 flamethrower.
Right. Okay, got it. Okay. To start the fight off, the spurt of fire comes from the walking flamethrower that accompanies V. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
I rolled a 3.
Give me one moment. Like I will ask for it here in a
Relax
second.
and reroll, okay? He hadn't asked yet.
Okay, cool.
Just
Yeah,
roll.
I guess you didn't ask. Huh?
Prepare your initiatives. Roll them.
Okay.
All right. Anyone 20 and above? Yeah. 22 for V. 15 to 20. 19 and
17.
17 and
Oh, I got a 20.
20.
Oh.
Okay, so
Sorry, I
we
didn't see
put
mine.
Brew first between those, and then who rolled the 19? Okay, Junji here, then Didi, and then what did you roll?
3. I rolled a 10 this time.
Okay. Have you been using the initiative plus at the top of
No.
yours? What have you been rolling? What do you mean? Have you been just
I
adding?
just did it. I rolled a 17 and added it that time.
Okay. I'm sorry, are you just adding dex to it? Or are you adding what your
The
initiative?
where it says initiative plus 3.
Perfect. Okay, because for your class, you add your dexterity and your charisma. So if you're using the plus 3, that includes both. Cool. Anyway,
Giving the old Yeti treatment.
after this flamethrower burst, a full turn kicks off with V.
Just go straight into hit him with the crossbow. And I want to go ahead and use one of my special arrows.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Close range crossbow action.
That 20.
Nat 20. All right.
Wow.
Does it need to be a disadvantage?
No. You're fine.
Okay.
I might set up a little bit of a fight scene while you're doing this, so go ahead.
Okay. So, double damage then plus the 30?
Yes, perfect.
15?
Damage?
15 damage.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna. Oh wait, so it does. The arrow pops up and it says roast your chestnuts on this open fire, sucker. And
That's right.
it says it above his head for like a
Whoa.
while.
Look at this house.
Dumb question. I can't. It has to be a bonus action, right? I can't use the crossbow again.
Right.
Okay, I'm used to 2 actions per attack. Not bad. I guess I'll go back to the flamethrower again. You can roll his dex or something.
Yep. It's like a 22.
Whoa.
So he dodges out of the way of that one. Y'all are going to laugh at my Santa figure I'm going to use.
I can't wait.
He's a big, jolly little fish.
Aww.
So
Santa.
festive.
I mean,
He looks like he'd be a
Santa Cod. Santa.
Is that it for your turn?
Start an anime?
best one.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. You're outlining here. You were flying up here.
Yeah.
So we'll put you up this side for now. You were right at this. Not great. Fine. Did you, where were you?
I was in the hallway, but kind of close.
All right. After V, do I have my vertical ones? Okay, these will work. We'll do this, and you see a reindeer figure.
No.
Kind of
No,
running in
please.
from around the outside. And you would expect it to be your brew friends, but it is not, because you can tell they immediately shift into a druid form out of the reindeer and then sneak up behind. Who is this? That's Gingy? Okay, cool.
No, it's not Ginger.
Oh, that is V.
It's me.
Okay. And so this druid comes up behind V and.
Praise of reaction.
Which one?
Shield.
Maybe if that's after the attack roll is rolled.
He could just be kind of give you a hug.
Wow, maybe. You taught me that right.
And they also are using a shillelagh, which you can see, so you recognize that immediately. But they once they transform into their like human form, this quarterstaff starts to glow with some energy, and it is a 16 to hit.
Ooh.
So now, if you'd like to use your reaction,
Yeah, I would like to react to
Okay.
shield to increase my armor class by 5.
okay.
Didn't get
So the attack would hit, and then you pop the shield, and then it does not. That is it for that druid's turn.
Roast your chestnuts.
Perfect. Now, Brew, you're up.
Had this whole plan to sneak in the back. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to continue going around the side.
There was a window off on the back side. This isn't there.
Right.
There's a window off on the
I
back
think, has anyone seen me?
No.
Have any enemies seen
Yeah.
me?
Mm-hmm.
So then I would just make my way to here, and I imagine I can jump through it next turn.
If you wanted to dash, which you have as a bonus action as a rogue, and as an action, you could do both. But you could bonus action dash into that, and then still do your action.
Would I be actually this close?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this charging reindeer slams through a glass window on the back side, gets behind him, and then go ahead and roll your full-on attack. You get your antlers and your hooves.
So first I need to see if I hit him, right?
Yeah.
So you said I add 5, and then
You don't have sneak attack on this, but you do have 5 to damage.
but for my hit.
Just do your normal attack roll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I need to make sure I hit him right.
So
So I add 5 from this thing.
no. You add 5 for damage if you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, that yes. You add 5 to your attack.
So 17.
Perfect. That hits.
And
Sorry, I
then
thought you were asking something else.
you said I can hit with horns and hooves?
Do the horns first, yeah.
Alright, horns first. And is that far enough to get that little bonus?
Yes.
Whoa. So I roll. Man, there's so much stuff with that trying to. So sneak attack is 2d6. Yeah. 12.
12 damage.
Yes.
Great. And then your hooves. You can go ahead and roll a hit for that.
This song is going to be stuck in my head in the future. I'm
know.
going to be like, what is this from?
Oh. That's only an 8.
Dingity dang, ding
Yes, that is
dong, dingity dang, dingly dang.
Could be a good walk down the aisle song, I think.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could be good.
Walking down the aisle to fight Santa.
That is all that I do then.
Okay, great. After your antlers slam into him as you blast through this window and surprise him from behind. After our brew is going to be another druid coming in through. And also comes in through the front door behind. That one is going to stay in deer form. And so you are still the first threat that they see, V. So you are going to be
Right.
the target of some antler attacks.
There's not a limit to my reaction, though, right?
Your AC still has stayed at 20.
Oh,
It's
sick.
until I think it's until your turn starts.
Okay.
So this one comes running in and rolled a natural 20 though. So it is going to break through your
Whoa.
shield.
What are the
And
odds of that?
for this antler attack,
1 in 20.
1 in 20 at least.
something around
I
there.
don't believe it.
You're going to take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 piercing damage.
That's so much when I'm not a barbarian.
Add
Yes,
it. Imagine.
And then
I can
after
only
that,
imagine.
druid is going to be Gingy.
Alright. Gingy is going to take his candy cane and do the same thing that he did earlier, wave it above his head in a circle, and hissing all the while, trying to intimidate anyone around him, but not as an action. And then,
Yeah.
The most intimidating can be without making a roll.
yeah, whatever, right up to that limit. And he's going to cast Scorch. You can tell from his smile, it's kind of an evil smile. You can tell he likes the cut of Santa's jib. However, he also likes to kill, so he's going to cast Scorching Ray. And he's going to send all 3 at Santa.
Attack rolls or is that safe?
It's attack rolls. So 3 attack rolls. Let's see. 13
13 does not hit.
and 18
That is.
Yeah.
and
15.
23.
That also hits.
Alright, so that's going to be 4d6 damage.
You want to go home with him? Yeah. You go home with him?
Yeah, Lucy might like you.
13.
13 total damage?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Friggin' Santa.
Alright, as 2 flaming bursts from your gingerbread friend slams into the fake Santa, he starts patting out his beard and fake Santa outfit and takes the fire off. But then as underneath it, you can see that it's burned and done some damage to him. After Gingy is going to be another druid
No!
coming into the fight.
No, not NPC number 3.
NPC Nimpic Druid.
Nimbus, Druid.
Nimbus.
Whoa.
And
Nimbus.
this
So
one
he's
is
got
coming
no
through.
teeth. That's
He does hit. Is this Gingy then?
The
Yes.
small one in front of the stairs is Gingy, yeah.
Antlers at Gingy. Oops. Okay. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. So as these antlers kind of swing over you and this hiss and this twirl that you have going on, your cane just kind of hits into some of the antlers and deflects them off to the side. Dee Dee, you were
Correct.
next.
So since I'm floating over fake Santa, I want to lock my antlers into the ceiling and use my hooves to just.
Whoa!
Alright, so flurry of blows on that too, so you're going to do a couple of hooves attacks, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Great.
I get to do 2.
You can leave it there, it's fine.
Say again.
I was saying you could leave your mini up on the stairs.
I was just gonna put you right here.
Nice.
You put her on the top floor right above him. Yeah.
So
Pack mule.
I did a 15.
Hits.
Okay, and then 1
The music was
d4.
so good. It was the Merry Christmas after.
Yeah.
I borrowed a d4.
I think Joey would have really liked this one.
Wait, are you telling me I could kill Santa? Yeah!
Damage 6.
Great. Got that. Are you doing another?
Yes, one more.
Great.
Dirty 20
Hits.
Yes.
Wow.
with 7 damage.
Okay. Good damage.
Thank
2 hits
you.
from the monk reindeer. Bringing us next to
You're not the real Santa.
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
What does he smell like?
Bad.
Ash.
Ash apparently.
Old cocoa and bologna?
Yes. What's old?
Beef and, yeah, beef and cheese, not Santa.
What?
Old cocoa.
All right.
It's like a month expired.
Yes.
Oh.
A little dusty.
All right. I need all of you all to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh no, he's gonna do a big blast. Yes.
No.
Oh, I know, I'm probably fine.
Joffrey is open as well.
That's not enough. For like everybody?
What do you add?
One use.
Do you add anything? Is con
Appearance saving throw.
Yeah.
I think. I need to
Duh.
be sure.
Constitution is d20 plus my
Yeah.
modifier.
Yeah.
All right. The DC was 13.
Where is it? Oh.
If you did not make the 13, raise your hand.
Did not make what
So there's
DC
I
13
don't even know if
save.
Joffrey is worth it if it was.
for everyone.
Yes.
Well, that could get us down to less than half though. If someone uses Joffrey.
I am fine.
Okay. So for you three,
Someone should probably roll one.
interested in using Joffrey for this.
Yeah,
Yes.
someone should use Joffrey. Have you done Joffrey before?
Never.
Do Joffrey.
So, no, okay, so you have Cure Wounds though. So I think if anyone should use it, it should be you.
I do, but will that work? This was a Constitution saving throw though, so isn't this like mental?
Constitution.
No, Constitution
We're
is
not
health.
just saying if they go down, you can help them.
Constitution is health, that would be Wisdom or...
Okay. That's fine. And I have that aloe jelly. That we
But
don't
she
have.
can roll Joffrey
No, what I'm
for
saying-
you.
What I'm saying is we should give you the health. Like, you should be the one to roll Joffrey.
Because you can't heal
Oh.
yourself.
Because
you
we
can
don't
heal
want you
other
to die.
Gotcha. I'm at 20 health, so yeah, up to y'all.
Yep, I say do it.
Okay.
Okay. I never do
Joffrey.
He's so heavy. Just try.
I didn't even do it very far. So 12 plus 5,
Plus 5 plus your normal Constitution. Save.
17,
you're
21.
All right, that passes.
21.
And so
I
what
tried to
happens
not
is
bang
Gingy
everything
and
up.
Dee Dee, the two of you are caught up in this blizzard that is forming around him as he focuses some magical energy, and wind and snow start to whip around this space.
I'm very clumsy.
The both of you are restrained. There's no damage, but you are currently restrained.
Oh no.
Yeah, my antlers are in the ceiling and then.
Restrained means a couple of things. It means like you pretty much don't get anything on your turn, and attacks on you are if they hit, they're automatically critical damage as well.
Critical?
Oh no.
How do I
Is this
build-
constant? Is this concentration from Santa?
No, this is not an ongoing thing.
Oh.
You will repeat this save at the end of your turn.
Oh no.
Could I still do the? Is it supposed to be sanctuary or sanctuary?
Sanctuary.
Okay, it doesn't
That's
have the
not
C in
wrong.
it, but I was like, maybe it's supposed to be sanctuary.
Nice.
No.
Is the flamethrower?
On your turn, though. Go ahead.
Is the flamethrower stuck in the storm too?
No, it's fine.
Whoa.
Alright, so a restrained creature,
Don't
your
forget
speed
about
is
that.
0. Your attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. So you can make attacks still at disadvantage. Sorry, and you have disadvantage on dex saves. So you can't move. You can still attack. It's just harder. I was wrong about the crit thing. That's a different thing.
Thank goodness.
Do we
I don't want
roll
to be critical.
at the beginning of our turn?
The end of your turn.
Which one of you is looking worse?
I'm fine.
I haven't lost damage this game.
Shipping if anyone.
Okay, that is it for Bad Santa. We are now on
Frosty.
Good Snowman.
Yes.
I am going to cast Gust of Wind at the blizzard at second level, see if I can dispel it.
Wow.
The blizzard does fade after its turn. That's not an ongoing
Oh, the
thing.
wizard blizzard.
So
okay.
we're just like frozen.
Yes, you are currently just responding to.
Well,
the
then I
frozen
won't
blizzard.
do that even a little bit. I instead will. Let's see, what will I do instead? I'm going to cast Ice Knife at. Are these all of the
Yes,
little
they're druids.
druids?
Yeah, all three of them right there.
These two are still in deer form.
Yeah, well.
Snow deer form.
Once or 13 times.
The problem is that there's no way that I don't hurt this person if I do that.
Yeah,
That's me.
Okay.
Never mind.
Is Vivid or Birchwood?
Yo no puedo ver.
Is anyone else within 5 feet of this guy except me?
I don't think so.
Cool. I'll do
No,
Ice
I
Knife
think
at
I'm
him
at
Well,
instead.
I mean, I'm flying above him.
Oh, sorry, and you're fine, but he
Okay.
is right behind him.
Oh. Gracious.
Rudolph.
Okay. I don't think I can do. I will do Ray of Frost is what I will do. At him. Yeah.
Is that a saving throw? No, it's an attack roll, I think, for you.
Yeah, it's an attack roll.
Good.
I rolled a 20, dirty 20.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Good. I'm gonna do 1d8 of damage. Let's see how that does. That is a 3. 3 damage, and then he's gonna be reduced by 10 feet, or his speed is reduced by 10 feet till the start of my next turn.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So he takes 3 cold damage.
It's freezing.
You can see that the cold damage actually didn't seem to affect him that much.
Good. I will then. Yeah, pretty much every one of my turns or one of my moves affects people around, so I can't really do any of these things right now. I will just punch him. I'll hit him.
I was gonna ask if you could just punch.
I can. I'm a sorcerer. I can't hit him.
The Ray of Frost was an action, right?
It was a cantrip. I can spend
It's
sorcery
an
points.
action, though.
Yes.
Right. What were you gonna do for a bonus action?
I was gonna spend sorcery points to. I guess I was
Oh,
originally gonna do
gotcha,
another
gotcha.
spell, but
Okay.
all of my spells affect the area, so I will not
No.
do anything else.
I'll move to the left so you can attack in the future, okay?
Okay.
Got you. Okay. After you, then we're up to V.
How does Frosty look?
V.
I'm less than half health.
Okay. As a bonus action, can I do Santa Sanctuary?
Yes.
So I'm going to ward you as a creature within range against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, which it doesn't tell me what that is, I assume you have
It's a
it.
DC 13.
Okay. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attacker's spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects such as an explosion of a fireball. So,
Oh yeah.
you
If something
protect.
targets you with an attack, they're likely to have to change targets or not hit you.
Cool.
So,
In your action?
yeah, I can't flamethrower because that
Correct.
is a bonus action. So, and sorry, Santa did cast the blizzard, right?
He did.
It wasn't one of the druids.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. And then I'm gonna use my last suck it arrow
Okay.
at Santa,
Okay.
hopefully.
Who took the fireballs? Was that you?
Yeah. Which those would just be actions as well, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's also like a 30-foot radius explosion of fire.
Let's just all go out. And
Everyone
race
takes
away.
damage.
I mean, it's a one shot.
Gingy starts like drooling
Yeah.
at the thought.
Can you imagine?
16.
It is.
Wish I would have been another crit. That would have
Suck it, Santa arrow. Let's go.
Can you imagine?
7 and 1. 10 damage.
Perfect.
So again, in glittering fireworks.
It says.
It says, roast your chestnuts on this open fire, sucker.
Nice.
And I don't have any more, so that's the last time I can
Yeah.
say it.
Amazing.
2 magical fiery arrow blasts, bolt blasts from your crossbow slam into this bad, evil fake Santa.
Oh. Gosh, both times I didn't do the extra d6 fire damage.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Sorry.
Please do roll those. Yeah.
Those were. Were they both at Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Very good.
5
Wow. Good.
for the first one a while ago. And 2, is he dead now?
No, but he is hurt. That's some solid damage out of you.
Okay.
Nice.
After V is going to be Druid number 1. That is in human form. So it's going to do another quarterstaff attack at. That is Gingy? No, that's V.
I am the hunched little frog thing.
Yes.
You're great.
Quarterstaff attack is for a 12 to hit V.
Do you get hit by a 12? No.
Oh, sorry, no.
Okay. So the quarterstaff
wear my
makes contact with some of your magical studded leather armor that you have enchanted. That's it for that druid. Now we're up to Brudolph.
Oh, armor class.
I don't provoke opportunity when he's not looking at me, right?
No, you would. You would, but if
And
you
I move to the side
yeah,
so that he can attack in the future.
if you leave his range,
Yeah,
he'll
that's
be
very
able
good.
to
They have
attack.
to roll that.
I'm going
higher
to stay
to
within
hit.
his range, just move like 3 feet to the left.
Okay, you're stuck going around him.
Yeah,
Okay,
so more so to the side,
yeah.
which visually probably we can't do. Now obviously that means I can't really charge in the house.
If you attack him first, then you can leave his range, no problem. That's your class ability.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I would just do that.
Yeah.
And you said I can do horns and hooves each time?
If
No.
you charge.
Okay. And I can't charge because I'm inside the house.
Right, it is a pretty tight space.
Okay. So then I'll just do, well, first I need to see if I can hit, but I'll do my horns. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
1d6. Ah! That is, I rolled a 1 plus 3, so 4.
4 damage, gotcha.
Your piercing damage, oh yeah. And then I would just move out of range to the
Yeah, you can go
side.
into that back corner, for sure.
Beep.
Great.
So I'm technically in
After
the back
this
corner.
is the Druid number 2, who is still in deer form. And this deer is going to try to antler attack V. And that's going to be a 17 to hit.
Can I shield myself?
If you do another first level spell. Which Sanctuary was as well, and Shield. So this should be your 3rd first level spell cast.
So that means it's the last time.
Is that how many first level spell slots you have?
Yeah.
Cool, yes. Do you want to use it for that?
You have to wait for the music. Oh, bam!
Attention
I
to
don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should wait to use.
Getting hyped.
Does Firebolt use up a spell slot
No.
if it's a cantrip? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it.
Okay.
It's fine.
So this reindeer tries to antler you. You put up another magical barrier and it repels it away. That is it for Druid number 2. That brings us to our gingerbread.
GG. Okay. If I were to cast Bonfire at my feet, would
Yeah.
that dispel the effects of the restraint?
You need to make the saving at the end of your turn. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. You
So
still
I
have
could-
your actions and everything like that.
I
too.
can still cast, right?
No. The restraint is from the cold. It would give you advantage on the saving throw.
Which would even me out? Oh, on the saving throw.
Yeah.
But I'd still have disadvantage on the
Yeah.
attacks. Well, I think it's better to be unrestrained, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to
cast bonfire. I'd like to cast it in such a way that
She's above
Dee Dee's
him with
above
it.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna cast it at my feet,
Okay.
and that is all I'm gonna do.
Okay, go ahead and make your Constitution saving throw.
And I get advantage.
You do.
Okay. Well, that's not 20.
Sweet.
Hey-o.
The immediate heat of your fire, your frosty dough is able to be
Yes.
thawed out.
This dough has seen some things.
Yeah.
I will not eat this
incredible.
cookie.
It's incredible. I guess that's what they hope for.
Great. At the end of your turn, that is our final druid, who was attacking you. So it does not get advantage against you because you are thawed out.
Wow.
But it does get an at 20 anyway.
Shoot.
So,
A
with
monkey.
its antler attack against you. You're going to take 15
Well,
piercing damage.
Ow.
Ouch.
Yes, the gumdrop button. Okay. And that's it for that druid's turn. And then that brings us to Dee Dee. Dee Dee, what are you up to as you are frozen in the ceiling?
I want to try to spin so I can land behind
Okay.
Frosty.
Your movement speed is 0 because you are restrained.
Oh,
You're
word.
not really able to move around
Cool.
right now. You can
Then
make attacks with disadvantage against him still.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hoof him.
Okay. So go ahead and make the hoof attack with disadvantage. So roll twice and take the lower.
Okay. But I still have the.
roll to hit first, yeah.
Okay.
You'll add a +5 to both of them.
18.
Two
The same
18s.
thing. It was two
Great,
18s.
okay, so go ahead and roll the hoof damage.
Excuse me. 7.
Okay, 7 damage to Bad Santa.
Woo!
Got it. And then go ahead and make the Constitution saving throw to try to break out of the cold restraint you're in from the blizzard.
7.
It's not enough. So
I'm
we're still
stuck.
immobile, frozen, and stuck into that space. After Dee Dee, it is Bad Santa's turn, and he's going to look up slowly and laugh as this frozen reindeer is perfectly placed above him for him to make an attack.
Oh
And
no.
oddly enough, this Santa is so evil, he's going to bite you.
A cookie.
He opens his mouth and just, and then jumps up and tries to bite at this reindeer frozen up towards the ceiling.
Does he like venison?
We're about to find out.
He's like Wiggy, he just can't help it.
He just has nibbles.
It is a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Barely.
Barely.
Barely hits.
And you are going to take
Good hit down.
1 hit point.
13 damage.
Woo!
And then you're also going to take from his cold breath 3 cold damage as well. So a total of 16 damage.
Remember when I thought I wouldn't need to do cure wounds anymore?
Enjoy.
Wait,
So
no,
use
I
my
shouldn't
last
impact
After
smash.
that bite, he's then going to turn and he's going to see the snowman in front of him. You've backed away. So he's then going to try a swipe and one little like punch attack towards Frosty there as well.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh, why did I was looking at the wrong stat block. I was looking at the Yeti stat block for him to bite you. And I was like in my mind, it makes no sense that Santa... No, Santa has a bite attack
James,
too.
what are you doing?
No, Santa has a bite attack.
Okay.
It didn't do the cold damage, so it would have been the same. So you can heal 3 back.
Yeah.
But, Santa doesn't have a bite attack. It's so weird.
He's
Weirdo.
not really Santa.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, his like
He's a human man.
he has a staff
They
attack, not a
bite.
swipe. He doesn't have claws. So anyway, he then reaches back for the staff and swipes for it to attack you. It is a 16 to hit.
That gets me.
Okay. So the staff attack is going to do.
Does he have to target someone else because of Cassandra's ward?
Yes, he has to make the wisdom saving
Yeah, I was
throw.
gonna say, is my spell still spelling?
You didn't take any damage, right? In the last round, you shielded it. Okay, because it's a concentration spell. But anyway, he has to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 13. He did beat it. He rolled.
Ugh.
9.
Sorry, man.
It's still on you though, so you may need to remake that later. But you're gonna take 9 bludgeoning damage.
Whoa.
And roll a d20 and see if that hat stays on you, bud.
Okay.
I should have got that one over there.
I rolled a 2, which means that he blasted the hat 30 feet away from me. So let's see what I get up to now that my hat's been obliterated.
Do you have a hat?
I rolled a 1. Alright. The wearer goes into a frenzy where their hands become snowy boxing gloves. They roll a d20 plus 5 to hit and deal 2d6 cold damage on hit. So I roar as my hat flies off and my hands become these big, cold, bowling ball hands. And I immediately just hurl at Bad Santa.
I'm sensitive about my scalp.
Yeah. That's a thing I'm sensitive about. 22.
That hits.
Is it 2? Because 2 punches?
Just one. Sadly, it's 2d6, so 6 per punch.
Fist.
That's a 6.
He does this.
Wow.
And a 5.
Wow.
11 cold damage.
Pretty good.
The cold damage isn't quite as effective against him, but it still does some damage. And really good damage from you, so that half is still plenty. After Frosty's, we're back up to V. V.
That just was my attack. I didn't get to have a turn.
If you, that is your action to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you do have a bonus action, or you would get to do that too. Sorry.
I would get to do the bonus action?
Yes.
Well, because I can spend a sorcerer point to treat a spell as a bonus action.
You can't cast spells without your hat.
Oh, okay. Great.
Wow.
That is why I kind of quickly moved through it.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
those other stuff I'm doing.
No, perfect.
Oh no, your hat, it's so far
Did you want to
away.
move to run towards your hat?
Yes, knowing that, yes, I will run at the hat, wherever the hat is.
Okay. It was 30 feet behind outside of the house.
Will that provoke
Outside of
opportunity of
It
attack?
will. You would actually, to do that, you would run past Santa, who'd probably attack you, and
I
all
would.
3 druids.
Certainly die. I will stay exactly where I am.
Okay, got it.
See Shinji impaled on an antler, hissing.
Yeah.
But one of your allies, who knows you need your hat, could bring you your hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying
I
to.
can't
And
That's
throw
not
it
a
like
spell.
ob job.
Yeah.
That's not a spell. Or are you talking about Broski?
I'm talking about anyone.
Okay. Well, I have something that I don't provoke an attack of opportunity. I don't know where it is right now. And I just don't know if it's a spell or not.
There's probably a bonus action to disengage. Or an action to disengage, sorry. If you do that action, you can move without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Nimble escape. Yeah, so I think I'll do a crossbow hit to Santa first. I don't have any cool arrows left. I can't really do anything with. Yeah, I can't do anything with those arrowheads. 15.
That hits.
Okay. 16. 4. 7 damage.
Okay. He's starting to look a little rough.
And then,
Smacked him around a little bit.
as a bonus action, can I do Nimbus Escape
Mm-hmm.
and go grab the hat?
What does it do?
You can take the disengage or hide action as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Oh,
Wait.
right, because you're a goblin. Yes.
That means I'm not. It's not provoking.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So you can do that as a bonus action, and then as your little goblin self, which is that one? I forget. Yes, it's
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
You can move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet to grab the hat, and you can even move, I think, as you move in speed 25.
I think it's 30. It's 30.
Okay, then you can get 5, 10 back.
Wow.
So you have the hat, and you are behind the wall of druids.
I toss it.
No, you'd use an action to
I
do
know.
It's perfectly placed on his head.
Right. That's it.
An ally has the hat. That is it for V. Druid 1. The druid, this one is in the human form, I think. If it's not, yeah, it is. Okay. It is going to cast a spell, and it's going to be Sleep Storm.
Sleet storm. It's a storm of sleet.
Boogity doo. Bingity bang. Bingity doo.
So has Santa been Jack Skellington the whole time?
Well,
What did Grease?
Jack Skellington.
Skeleton's not evil.
I mean, he was a creepy Santa for a little bit.
He is a creepy
true.
Santa.
Maybe this guy is just misunderstood.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so pretty much the whole house in this entry area, all of this has become a slick ice that is very slippery. It is very hard to see, and if you are moving through it, you are likely to fall. You'll have to make a dexterity saving throw. That's it for that druid's turn.
Or be knocked prone.
Brewski.
Very prone to falling.
Because I'm behind him, do I get advantage or a sneak attack as a rogue or no?
Because you'd be flanking with another creature, yeah, I'll give you the advantage on it.
Nice.
Advantage or sneak attack?
Advantage gives you sneak attack.
Whoa!
Wow.
And it means I get to roll twice, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Do I get to roll twice on my hit too?
Yeah.
That's fun. But it's only 11.
That's not it. And you charge forward and slam into his butt end, and it is not quite in a way that hurts him
Nice.
or wounds him. He's well padded.
Just a way that intrigues him.
He's well padded.
No.
What a curious thing. Oh.
Every
Is that it for
saint
your
has a
turn?
past.
Yes.
Okay. Druid number 2 is then going to attack V with Hat. And so we have a 15 to hit. V.
I
Just
think it
hits.
just hits. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I
hits.
can't shield anymore.
Okay. With that antler attack,
Yeah.
7 piercing damage. And I need to make a concentration check on your sanctuary.
Okay.
Just do
I say I have friends with antlers.
do a constitution saving throw. You have to beat a 10. And while that's happening, we are up to Gingy.
I beat it with
Okay,
a 19.
You're maintaining sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Gingy, you are up.
Alright, I would like to cast, can I cast Mind Sliver at the one that's right behind me?
Yeah.
Would that be a disadvantage?
Because of
Because it's actually, it's not a range attack. Never mind.
right. I think it's a saving throw, right?
It is. Alright, I'm gonna do that.
Cool. Druid, right?
Yes.
What type of saving throw?
Intelligence 14.
Fail.
Yes.
Okay. Unless the saving throw is successful, the target takes 3d6 psychic damage, and the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of your next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the save.
Okay.
Alright, 3d6.
That killed him.
Okay, can I describe it?
Casual.
Okay, Gigi has just been
Dear Druid.
has been pierced by the antlers and was tossed to the ground, and then he sat up and scurried inhumanly fast up to the druid, the dear druid's eye, and just stares into it. And suddenly you see the dear
The
druid.
very men who stare at goats fashion.
Yes, the dear druid suddenly screams in agony and falls to the ground dead. And Gigi hisses.
You see the druid form shift from reindeer to man to reindeer to man, and this agony that he's going through, and at some point in some cross faction of man and reindeer hybrid, he just he hits the ground.
Gigi takes his kitty and goes whack one time.
This is so much like my stepmom's dog. It's unreal.
The similarities
I've
are
watched her do
Kill him
that.
with a look.
Gingy's done right.
yeah.
Okay, that was the druid that was attacking you, bringing us to Dee Dee.
Oh, nice.
Hey there.
Stuck to the roof.
I'm stuck to the roof, y'all, so I'm gonna try to hit with my hooves.
Okay. Who's
Once
that
more.
Santa?
Hoof that
It's a
Santa.
hoof hit.
Hoof that Santa. 23.
That hits.
Oh wait, no, disadvantage.
Disadvantage, that's right, yeah.
Hold on. Oh, 6.
No.
No.
Womp womp.
Or it's sorry, it's 8. It is 8.
That does not hit this one.
Yeah.
Go to make your Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
To break out of this freeze.
And Cassandra reminded me of my Stone of Good Luck.
Yeah.
So I have plus
To
1.
that.
Do that.
And I do that with this. 18.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, you are no longer restrained.
I'm free!
You'll be able to do a lot more. Free. Bad Santa. All right. Not Yeti. Bad Santa. Here we are. Okay. E is going to do another staff attack
Feeling bitey.
and a bite because he is feeling bitey.
Dang.
We'll go for the same things. He's going to bite up and staff cut. The bite up is not an advantage. You're no longer restrained.
Woo!
It is still a 22 to hit. So, the bite is going to hit. What we got? Okay, it is going to be 6 damage to you.
Okay.
And then the staff attack forward towards Frosty is going to be a 17 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is a...
He's made of snow.
That's a 7 damage to you.
Oh! Fall over backwards.
Do you just
Frosty
like...
is down.
I'm
Do you just
down.
like poof into snow?
No.
Well, he's dying.
He's not dead yet.
Dying. I look
be
like
back
this
again
sand,
one
but
day.
in reverse. Trickles are going up to heaven.
And so as the staff comes across and Frosty then hits the ground, this evil fake Santa begins to laugh as the magic is fading from this snowman. You have stumbled into quite the nefarious cottage. Leave and end this now. And after that, Santa is now you. If you would I will make a death saving throw for you behind.
We all live.
Okay? A death saving throw was made for you. And V, you're up. Hat in hand, the ability to cure wounds at your very fingertips, V.
I can't anymore because I don't have spell slots.
You have
You
ointment.
do not have spell slots.
I thought I do have ointment.
You do have ointment.
I thought I wouldn't
And a
need the
hat.
spell slots, and then I took a very
Ointment
bad
and a
turn.
hat.
Ointment and a hat. Good name for an episode. We were naming things. Yeah, I thought I wouldn't need cure wounds, and then. Yeah, can I try to move to Frosty?
Only
You
we have
could.
some hype music.
You may take attacks of opportunity.
You're in
Even
luck.
if I nimble?
So you
That's
have
okay.
a bonus action disengage.
Yeah,
Okay. So you can move through
yeah,
5, 10, 15, 20. You get up next to him.
yeah.
Little goblin body able to just zip through, missing any opportunity to be hit.
Is it multiple actions to like put his hat and just dump the mysterious aloe
You
on
can do
him?
both.
Okay,
Good.
I'll do both.
Okay.
Even though I am not entirely sure what the liquid is. I'm
Yeah,
like, well,
me
can't
neither.
kill him
Let's find
more.
it. Alright.
Oh.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Yodom's ointment. This glass jar, 3 inches in diameter, contains 1d4 plus 1. I will roll that real quick. Never mind, I made that a hat, and here we go. You're using all of it anyway, right? Alright, roll a 4.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay, it contains 5 doses of a thick mixture that
Whoa.
smells faintly of aloe.
Doses.
As an action, 1 dose of the ointment can be swallowed or applied to the skin, or I guess snow in this case.
That's right.
Yeah, it
creature
just
that
stains you
receives
green,
it-
bruh.
The creature that receives it regains 2d8 plus 2 hit points.
Holy crap!
And ceases to be poisoned and
Wow.
is cured of any disease.
about
Wow, what
And
diseases
so,
you got?
2d8 plus 2, you roll that to heal him.
But she used all of it?
No, it's just one's fine.
Just one.
Well then,
She's got 4 more.
She has 300 health now.
wow.
2d8 plus 2.
11.
Okay, 11 hit points.
And a hat.
And a hat.
Oh.
These turn, you are back to go.
Roasty.
Anything, that's it for you. It's
I can't do any
And
attacks.
everything else, yeah. Druid number 1, still being nearby. You are the humanish one. Coming in for a quarterstaff on Gingy.
Quarterstaff.
This is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. You're going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage from that staff attack. And that's it for that one. And then Brewski, you're up.
Do I have advantage
Flung
again?
into the wall.
If you move back and charge again, which you could have done, yeah, you're fine to do continue.
Aha. Yes. 17?
Yes, that hits.
Yay. So then I get 3d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Get him.
Hit it. That was closer.
It was.
13 damage.
Okay.
Wow.
Santa getting hurt.
Hit.
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 Wait, do I get to do hooves too?
For charging, yes, you can do hooves action.
Yes, Bubs. Kill it.
Roll to hit. Also gets advantage to hit, but no sneak attack.
We haven't even checked to see if this is like
I don't even think I need
original
it.
Santa infected, right? We're just
Nobody
assuming
asked.
this is an
Nobody-
imposter.
Yeah, just beat the crap.
Right.
18.
Yeah.
He did say the ruse is over or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
Okay.
blitz and
Okay.
18.
That is. Go
And
ahead, roll
then-
damage.
That is 1d6 plus 3. No, that's. How do hooves work?
This is less damage.
It just says 4. Like it doesn't even tell me what dice to roll.
Oh
And
yeah,
then it
it's
has
just 4
plus
damage.
1
keep
strength.
rolling
Yeah, it's just
initiative.
flat 4 damage. You don't roll anything.
1
Oh.
damage per hoof.
Wikipedia says the hoof surrounds the distal end of the second phalanx, the distal phalanx,
Yeah.
and the navicular
And
bone.
it's got
The
Yes.
hoof consists of the hoof wall and bark.
It's got
Yes.
After Drewski, the other Drewski is going to then step forward and is also going after Gingy.
Badoski.
First threat, they're not too creative. How are you looking, by the way?
I got 10 hit points left.
Okay.
So
This is a 16 to hit.
that hits.
Okay.
4.
3 damage. As Deer comes in with hooves as well and doesn't do too much.
I'm hanging in there by pure spite.
Gingy, you're up.
Yeah.
With the power of oven and heat.
Okay.
Your side.
I'm leaking frosting here.
Yeah.
Gross. And I'm
Your
going
teeth,
Strawberry
your teeth
jelly.
necklace is just like kind of falling
Yeah,
down.
I'm vibrating with rage, and I am going to like shuffle right up to the one that did the most damage, which I think was the human, and I'm gonna stare up at it, and I'm gonna cast Mind Slipper again,
Slip in the mind.
and it's an Intelligence saving throw 14.
Are they dumb?
Fails.
Okay, so it
That's
is
right.
now going to
Idiots.
take 3d6 damage.
18.
Let's see.
Going on 19.
No, it's really bad. 5.
Okay, does not kill him, but did you see a little bit of blood pouring down this deer, or no, human's eyes?
Oh.
As his headache intensifies and this migraine hits, that just like
Oh, God.
causes intense pain.
He retreats.
After Gingy is Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Like that migraine you get when you eat too many cookies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And blood pours out of your eyes.
Yeah.
So,
every Christmas.
Just cookie things.
Oh, bad Santa, get him.
bad Santa. I want to fly down to his left hand and use my antler to try to cut it off.
Oh gosh.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh my, antlers are sharp.
Dee Dee's all
Huh?
jacked
Yeah.
up on cake.
15.
Stab it and
Yeah,
rip
that
it
hits.
off.
D8.
His hand's gone.
4 damage.
Okay, that hits, and you can flurry of blows for hook attacks as well. Or that does damage it. Yeah.
10.
10 does not hit.
Boo.
I think flurry gives you. Let me just double check.
Yeah.
What are you
I think it
doing?
gives you 2.
Like advantage?
No, like
No,
it gives
you-
Yeah. Okay, so
2
you get your
hits.
initial attack,
Yeah.
and then as flurry of blows, you can do 2 unarmed strikes as bonus.
2
actions,
unarmed
so you
strikes.
Get 1 more attack.
Oh, sweet. Okay, 17.
That hits.
6.
You may describe your character. Santa.
Oh! He smashes
hand's
brains
gone.
in.
Get him!
So,
Shove some tinsel down his
Um,
throat.
I fly around to his left hand using my antler. No, I didn't cut it off.
Yeah, you have complete freedom. You
I have
can
complete
do-
freedom. So I cut it off, and because I'm very clumsy, the hand flies and just cuts his neck off. And his head just falls back
Wow.
off of him.
And you're saying la 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 la.
And I go, that's for Santa!
As his capo is detated, what you then see is this kind of larger fake Santa form, then kind of shrivels into this grayish, odd, slender, shape-shifty form that this figure was some form of evil entity who is putting on the visage of Santa, and Stephen is broken.
He's still processing. His
Capo
capo was
dictated.
dictated. And
Wait, let's rebuild the word.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Decapitated.
So,
Yeah, but, like-
Michael Scott says it in the office because the former director gets like hit by a
truck.
semi truck, and his capo.
His name was Truck. I just realized that.
And so yeah, he was like in a very serious moment. Just goes, his capo is detated.
Oh, it doesn't
then
make sense.
Stephen.
That's
You
funny.
should watch sitcoms.
Yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah.
I've watched The Office twice.
Well,
why?
not
And
enough,
you don't
apparently.
I
remember
don't remember every line. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, so as this Santa, fake Santa, then falls apart,
Fanta.
you also can dispatch or take care of these druids. But ultimately, then, as you rummage around this cottage and are able to kind of search around and kind of figure out what exactly happened for this town, off in a little hearth off to the side, you can see right on the mantle has been displayed the star from the town. And you can also find a couple, like 4 or 5 full bags of gifts and toys that were supposed to be delivered.
Whoa.
And so, I mean, I imagine everyone except Gingy wants to deliver those things back towards the town.
Where is real Santa?
In the
the north.
contemplative post-fight silence, suddenly you hear.
Gingy!
And for just a bit of a closure and conclusion to the story, you gather the things and get back towards Pine Town.
Polar Pine.
Polar Pines.
Good job.
And
Like
real
something.
Santa is there, and talking with Heidi, you
Oh,
can
bless.
see them plotting and planning how they were going to make up for all of the damage fake Santa did, and you all come trudging back from the north with bags and bags of gifts and the star, and Dee Dee then takes the star and flies up towards the top of the tree and places it on.
It's shiny!
It is so shiny, and the magic and joy of this town is brought back to it by the mighty work of a couple of reindeer,
And we all
a
eat
thrifty
cake.
goblin, an animated snowman, and a very evil, destroyed, and broken creature.
Who is not happy about this.
Yeah. Cake's on us tonight.
You lose some, you win some.
Wonderful. What a great adventure.
Wow!
Thanks, James.
So he's just, real Santa was just waiting at Polar Pines
He
for
was
us to return.
planning with Heidi how they were going to restore stuff within
Oh,
the
got it.
They didn't know we were going to be back.
They didn't know we were gonna come
I
back.
just assumed we all died.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
Well, fun!
Wow.
Thanks, Dan.
Yay!